Thank you very much, Joel. We are set up and broadcasting live from Fort Scott, Kansas, within the confines of Fort Scott High School, deep inside the guts of the Tigers cage, home of the Fort Scott Tigers. Good evening, Grizzly Nation. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day, however you may be watching or listening. I'm Jack Leake III. Alongside me is my father, Jack Leake Jr., and running the camera is the Johnny D, Jonathan Dusher. We're just under 9 minutes until tip-off of the longest SEK road game, about an hour and a half north of Altamont, here in Fort Scott. A tough place to come play a ball game, let alone win one. Labette County Lady Grizzlies 2-5 on the season, 1-2 in the SEK. Lady Tigers 5-1 on the year, 2-0 in the league. So another season and yet another good Fort Scott Lady Tigers team. This is the Tank Connection pregame show of Labette County Lady Grizzly basketball. Dad, in my absence on Tuesday night, you and John Kohler rocked the headsets and did a nice job, and the Lady Grizzlies lost to the Lady Comets after a nice win at rival Parsons before Christmas break. How did you see the game on Tuesday go down for these Lady Grizzlies?
Yeah, well, you know, Chanute brought a nice – I got to start with this. Chanute's got a nice team. And I'll tell you what, they shot probably 50%, if not a little better, from three-point range. I mean, they made 8 out of 17 or 18 three-pointers. So, you know, you bring a pretty good little team in and then they're shooting hot like that, that just makes for a long night. But as you would expect, coming out of the halftime, we were, you know, down quite a little bit. And our girls, like always, battled and fought, played harder. Coach Vollmer made some nice adjustments, it seemed, defensively. And, you know, all of a sudden, a few things went our way. And then when a few things go your way, then it just decompresses how you feel and how you play. And then all of a sudden, Chanute's pressure wasn't quite so much on the press. And one thing led to another. And we really, I don't know if we ever really put the game, you know, within reach, but we got to within 10 or 11, you know, cutting it from 18 or 19 down. So, but Chanute, again, nice team, played well, shot well, and so, you know, tonight we just need to be sure and control the ball, and turnovers really hurt us.
Yeah, they do. This is a Labette County team whose margin for error already entering a game whenever they got on the bus is small. It just is. That is the fact of the matter, especially playing real quality opponents in the league. I mean, of all years to kind of, I don't want to say take steps backwards as a program, I'll just say reload as a program.
Yes.
The league is good. Independence is good. Coffeyville is good. Fort Scott is good. Chanute is good. I know I missed some. Parsons, much improved. Hard league. And there's a couple glass half full ways to look at it if you're Grizzly Nation and you're listening. Labette County, in a lot of their games, well, one, have played really quality opponents, but on top of that, they've played teams that have shot lights out. I mean,
yeah, I don't remember the team we played in the circle tournament where the girls shot three so well.
Mulvane.
Was that who? I think that's who it was.
Their point guard.
So I was kind of comparing the Chanute game to that.
Frontenac shot really well.
Yes.
Independence shot well. Chanute, yes, shot well. So that's one of the things I look at. You know, Labette County's 2-5 and 1-2 in the league, and they've played really good teams that on top of that have shot so well. And the second glass half full perspective, Labette County started the season 0-3, and they are 2-2 in their last 4 games. And so Labette County has really played a lot better collectively. They've won 2 of their last 4 contests and have an opportunity here tonight to make it 3 of our last 5 in a tough place to win. 5 minutes until tip-off. Let's step aside for 30 seconds as part of the Tank Connection pregame show, and when we return, we will we will uncover what happened the last time the Lady Grizzlies played in this gym.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the four-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
Welcome back in, Grizzly fans. We're live from Fort Scott, Kansas, Labette County, and Fort Scott in an SEK League contest. Last year, whenever Labette County played here for the second time last season, usually it's just one trip to each league venue, but Labette County played in the Sub-State Championship game here. Jonathan, I might bring you on here in a second because you remember that game pretty well. My dad, you were gone, Dad, for that game, so Jonathan stepped in and called it with me. Labette County won 42-40 in overtime here in Fort Scott to go to state. What a game that was. The last time the Lady Grizzlies were here, granted, a much different team last year roster than this year, so not all these girls we'll see tonight were a part of that, but some of them were. What a wild overtime roller coaster win that was a year ago in March here in this gym, Jonathan.
Yeah, it was intense. It was a nail biter all the way down to the final buzzer. My heart was beating so fast in the final seconds of that game because it was anyone's ball game, you know, like any buzzer beater of an overtime is. But I remember there's like 4 timeouts called in the last 30 seconds of the game, and that's always fun.
Yes.
Having to wait, just the anticipation building up. But it was an absolute blast. And that was my first time ever getting to call a full game, so that was a great opportunity as well.
It was a fun game, and wire to wire, from start to finish, it was like a 2 to 4 point game. I don't know if a lead ever got up by more than 4 or 6 points in that game last year. So, point being, historically as well, anytime you play in Fort Scott, it really doesn't matter how good you are or even how poor you are, is it whatever, funny, weird things happen in this gym. The gym may or may not have anything to do with it. It's a dimly lit gym that's a little different, but it just seems like anytime you get in a bus and play in Fort Scott, Kansas, something weird happens.
Well, I do think this is one of the old gyms, the low ceiling, the beams, the heat and air ductwork. I mean, it's still a basketball court, the right sizes, dimensions, the rims are at the correct height, so all that's the same. But some gyms do pose a little different feel, I think.
Yeah.
The crowd's on top of you, so I don't know. Either way, that's not going to impact us this evening. I feel like we'll play through that, but you're right. There's always been historically some crazy games here.
1 minute until starters and tip-off. We'll keep chatting for a little bit to see when the national anthem is scheduled for tonight. We don't want to talk over that, of course. I'm Jack Leake III with Jack Leake Jr. and Jonathan Dusher. This has been the Tank Connection pregame show of Labette County Lady Grizzly basketball. Fort Scott 5-1, Labette County 2-5. So Labette County coming in here as underdogs. So if something funny or silly were to happen, you would like to think that might benefit the Grizzlies if the game was kind of flipped on its head here early on these Lady Tigers. American flag descends from the rafters just above the lightly colored hardwood here below us. Let's step aside for 2 minutes as the national anthem plays. Starting lineups taking place here in Fort Scott, Kansas. Tigers and Grizzlies, always a lot of fun. Let's dive into the starters first for the home team, the Lady Tigers. Number 1, a 5'6" senior, Rayleigh Cowan. Number 2, a 5'6" senior, Abby Gorman. Number 20, a 5'9" senior, Claire McElroy. Number 24, a 5'9" senior, Aubrey Yarrick. And number 25, a 5'9" senior, JC Rogers. 5 seniors starting for the Lady Tigers, so that would mean that last year when Labette County came here, an 18-5 Grizzly team they finished last year and won by 2 points in overtime. Now a new group of Grizzlies gets to come and basically play the same roster for Fort Scott, so definitely a really solid returning group for Coach Steps in the Tigers. But for Labette County, the Lady Grizzlies, number 13, a 5'5" senior, Amelia Carnahan. Number 24, a 5'6" senior, Keely Good. Number 21, a 5'9" guard, Peyton Davis. And number 40, Peyton Davis, a 5'9" freshman. And number 40, a 5'10" senior, Amory Baker. And number 52, a 6-foot-tall sophomore, Kaylin McCoy. Head coach for your Labette County Grizzlies, Brianna Vollmer, assisted by Heather Wilson and Ryan Taylor. Head coach for Fort Scott, Pashone Steps, assisted by Derek Witt and Gary Floyd. Peyton Davis going toe-to-toe at center court with McElroy, and the tip and the tap is won by the senior Tiger, and Fort Scott snatches possession number 1.
Yeah, I feel like one advantage we have is, hey, there's no pressure on us. You know, we just play hard, relax, play with house money. Fort Scott's supposed to win this game.
Abby Gorman, a nice shooter for the Tigers, misses this three-point shot in the corner, and the rebound shanks off of the legs of a Grizzly, and Fort Scott will keep. 5 seniors to start for Fort Scott this evening.
Nice.
And an offensive foul on the inbounds play, actually.
I'm sorry.
The ref motioned the other way as if it was an illegal screen, but it looks like you're right. No foul.
Yeah, we played a nice zone there and got a 5-second call on him.
Yep, I missed that. Here's an intercepted pass by J.C. Rogers, but a body bump foul on Peyton Davis. Thinks it's on Fort Scott, and Rogers thinks it's on Labette County, and she's right. That was on Peyton Davis. So the first foul of the game goes on Labette County's freshman Peyton Davis. 2-3 zone for the Grizzlies. It's worked well the first possession. See if we can't make it work again. Ball's on the right side. McElroy pounds it and drives. Bank shot layup goes for Claire McElroy.
Yeah, if you're going to pack a zone in, someone should not be able to drive inside like that, so we're going to have to cut that off.
Long pass for Labette County, kind of beating them back a little bit, is McCoy, but she has it batted out of her grasp, and Fort Scott will have it on the inbounds here.
I could tell already Kaylin McCoy was going to take that to the hoop last week. She's continuing to do such a good job of catching the ball inside and expecting to have a shot or try to make something happen with it.
2-0 Fort Scott. 6:50 to go in the opening period. If you're just joining us, you've only missed a few possessions. They've run a couple set plays for Gorman to get a three-pointer up, but she can't do it quite yet. And a pushing foul on Labette County called in the paint on the shot, they say. 2 free throws coming up in a moment for J.C. Rogers.
I've been pretty impressed with our movement defensively out of that zone. You know, they're not getting any real open looks. They've drawn a couple of fouls on us already, of course, but we can tighten that up.
That's the second personal foul on Peyton Davis. And so Coach Vollmer sends in Jackie Scholl to replace her. First free throw's good for Rogers, as is the second. So 4-0 Lady Tigers. Inbounds pass from Keely Good finds Millie Carnahan. Her defense has really shined the last month of basketball, has Carnahan's. Millie defended by 2 Tigers, trapped in front of the bench, and a jump ball's whistled. Labette County will keep.
Yeah, here comes that pesky press that's given us fits all year, so we'll just have to deal with it as we go tonight.
Scholl inbounds to Carnahan right in front of Fort Scott's bench. 6:30 to play first quarter, 4-0 Tigers. Baker trying to do her famous up and under and has it rejected by the forearm of Rogers. Here come the Tigers. Gorman into the paint, deeper. Rogers, yes, off the window.
That was just a nice play there. She rotated, nice high kiss off the glass.
Labette County in red uniforms as they throw it out of bounds and turn it over. Red uniforms for Labette County with black lettering and yellow trim. Fort Scott in white uniforms and red numbers. Coach Vollmer calls an early timeout. It's 6-0 Tigers. Let's take a 30-second break on KLKC.
In 2003, Tank Connection founders envisioned a Southeast Kansas-based company dedicated to innovating voltage storage tanks, offering superior products and services through a customer-focused team. 2 decades later, and products in 64 countries and on 6 continents, this vision endures. Tank Connection employee owners are dedicated to a future where their shared purpose brings empowered realities to as many lives as possible.
Six to 0, Fort Scott leads Labette County here in the ladies matchup. Here in the second game out of Christmas break for both of these teams. Labette County coming off of a loss to Chanute on Tuesday night at home. A three-pointer for the Tigers is airballed long by McElroy. A substitution for Labette County. Roberts into the game. And the Tigers got a steal while I was talking, but then they threw it away themselves, so Labette County gets it back.
Yeah, again, that Tiger defense is going to really put pressure on us. Let's see what they call here.
Inbounds pass goes out of bounds. The refs say not touched, so it goes right back to the Tigers. 3 possession changes in maybe the last 4 seconds of gameplay.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about we're either going to have to get the ball in quickly on a made basket so we can beat the press setup, or just hope they miss and just transition.
Tigers, meanwhile, on Tuesday evening, they played at Frontenac, where they lost 64-36. And that was a Frontenac team Labette County opened the season with and lost by a similar margin, yes. 25 points or so. Labette County gets the defensive stop and then a foul. Did they call that on Jackie Scholl? Okay, that's number 20. That's what I thought. So Fort Scott gets their first foul of the game. They lead 6-0. Labette County has struggled here getting it across half court the last few tries. Roberts is fouled by McElroy, so 2 quick personals on their senior, while our freshman Davis sits on the bench with 2 personals of her own. Into the game for Coach Steps is Lorelei Clark, a sophomore for them who played varsity minutes as a freshman last year.
That would help if we could get a couple of their players 2 or 3 fouls real quick. That kind of cools your Jets defensively.
Labette County yet to get across half court. Now they do. Roberts picks her dribble up and finds Millie, who's downhill. Hook pass to McKinley Baker, who checked in behind me. I missed her coming in. Misses a jumper. Here come the Tigers right to left. Gorman, a short bounce pass. Those are hard to have successful sometimes, those real tight bounce passes.
Yes.
And a jump ball takes place, keeping it with Fort Scott this time.
I tell you, Baker's given us some good minutes the other night, so her hustle and her play has been a really nice bright spot. Clark
drives, untouched, and then contested by McCoy, but not quite enough. 8-0 Fort Scott.
Yeah, just a little too easy to dribble through a zone like that. We got to really break that down.
Roberts looking to break the ice for Labette County underneath the cup. Misses the layup, but out of bounds off of Fort Scott. It tumbles. Amory Baker back into the ball game in place of Kaylin McCoy. 4:20 first quarter, 8-0 Tigers. Baker right at the cup. It's McKinley Baker, and the first bucket comes for McKinley Baker in Labette County, the sophomore.
Yeah, that's how you do it. You catch it and go up quick. You don't hesitate or think about it. Well done there by Baker.
Tigers with it. Running point this possession is Cowan. Clark off the bench scored a bucket a possession ago. Misses the 3 here. Rebound Labette County.
You know, I got to tell you, just right now what I've seen so far, we can hang with these guys.
Roberts, right corner, long two, is airballed into the hands of Gorman with 3:40 left on the first period. Cross-court pass, Cowan, a little 7-foot J is approved, and it's 10-2 Tigers.
That's a nice shot there, pulled up jumper. Not much you can do about that.
Blocking foul called on the aggressive defender, Abby Gorman here.
Gets the right call.
That's 3 team fouls on the Tigers. Still just 2 team fouls on Labette County, both of those on Peyton Davis, who's on the bench.
Yeah, we need Davis too. She's kind of our energizer out there, you know, defensively and whatnot. So we're an important cog of it. So
Errant pass here from Amory Baker to Keely Good goes high above her head near the very small Fort Scott student section for now. As I always like to boast a little bit about how good Labette County's student section is from the tip of the varsity girls to the end of the varsity boys.
yep,
I've never seen a school be able to match it.
it's a true statement.
Sometimes schools' student sections will fill in once the varsity boys start and it kind of gets going, but Labette County's student body supports the girls as well for all 4 quarters. The Tigers have a failed possession here, but Labette County nearly turns it over, and a jump ball is going to be whistled. Who has possession? Labette County does, but again, just another self-inflicted wound in the area of a press break.
Yeah, that continues to haunt us, and I don't really know what you say to fix it, or I guess you just work through it and work on it. You have to learn to settle down a little bit.
They break it this time in the half-court entry with 2:40 left in the first quarter. It's Fort Scott 10, Labette County 2. McKinley Baker nearly got a floater to go, rebounded by Rogers.
Yeah, I like that. Man, she gets the ball inside and quickly goes up with it.
Cowan wants to go inside to Malone, but it's defended well by McKinley Baker again, and then she'll get a block here and then force a steal. McKinley Baker doing really positive work here.
Yeah, on both ends of the floor. Can't say enough good things about that.
Labette County's had a few opportunities to get within a couple possessions. Carnahan squares up from deep, swish, and Labette County's within 5.
Yeah, we'll take some of that. Millie's a fine shooter, and she makes 1 or 2 early. Look out, I'm telling you, she can really get hot.
Now a 1-2-2 zone for Labette County, or, well, it looks like Millie Carnahan is face guarding Abby Gorman, if I'm seeing that right, and here's a steal for Labette County inside.
I think that's such good coaching. Just put somebody on their best player and then zone everybody else out.
Good extra pass. Jackie Schull open, down and out. Rebound underneath McKinley Baker. Block, no whistle. Fights, keeps it alive, and then throws it away. It was just a little too much out of reach for Keely Good. But Labette County got a stop and then nearly got within 2 points with 1:17 left in the first quarter. It's 10-5, Fort Scott.
Gosh, how impressive. McKinley, she's everywhere right now, defensively and offensively. So, yeah, she's been such a good addition as she's getting more minutes.
Yeah, Amelia Carnahan has been a defensive prowess, and Keely Good a defensive prowess here. Picks the pocket of Clark, and Labette County claims another possession.
So smart there by Keely to not get impatient. Just pull it back out.
Fort Scott in the zone as well. Baker catches it, deep post, misses. Tipped around, pinballed everywhere, and that's a good call. Baker was getting a little handsy, and that's the first personal on Amory Baker. As about to go right to left real quick was Aubrey Yarrick, but Amory fouled her from behind. Labette County, couple chances to honestly tie the game.
Yeah, I think the ref missed one too. Baker got bumped on that layup. I think she was frustrated. Sometimes there's frustration fouls in those situations.
It is kind of a 2-2 zone, or what's that? Oh no, that's a box and one. Is that what that's called? Where Millie Carnahan is just following Abby Gorman everywhere she goes. Here's an airballed 3, and the putback is missed. Ball on the deck. Labette County had every right to that ball, but Fort Scott somehow, someway came away with it, and Rayleigh Cowan got fouled, and she will shoot 2.
Yeah, that's not like us. We normally want the ball worse than the other team. We're on the floor getting kind of bloody and elbows and knees and just getting after it. Fort Scott wanted that one more.
Cowan's first free throw is up and too strong off the back of the iron. As if this second one misses similarly, Kaylin McCoy and McKinley Baker need to box out because those bricks go a long ways.
Yeah,
But,
make it to the second layer. That's right.
Cowan's second free throw is down, though. No rebound needed. 11-5, Labette County trails, but have played a lot better here of late. Kylie Roberts takes a few dribbles and finds Baker. Extra pass, Carnahan, long two-pointer with 8 seconds on the clock. Rebound, McKinley Baker, though, and then out of bounds off of Cowan, so Labette County will have 5.9 seconds to get a shot off.
Yeah, kept it alive for us. Got a chance here.
Ball goes into Millie Carnahan, who looks to drive. 3 seconds. Finds Scholl open at the top, and the banked three is no good. And at the end of one, it's Labette County 5, Fort Scott 11. But opportunities were there for the Lady Grizzlies, and they really polished things up after that early, frustrated Coach Vollmer timeout. We will return in 1 minute to Fort Scott here on KLKC.
Here's a bright idea. Make sure you put your pants on before leaving the house. Sure, it seems simple, but sometimes simple doesn't happen. At Idea Tech, we think it's simple to have real people who live in Kansas helping customers. We understand that not everyone in our industry agrees, but then again, not everyone puts on pants before they leave the house. We think it's important to get the simple things right. Putting our pants on and providing local customer service. Another bright idea from Idea Tech.
Reaching your goals is closer than you think at LABETTE Community College. With 25 programs of study, 6 certificate options, and a campus that cares, your journey at LCC is sure to lead to success. Become a Cardinal. Visit labette.edu to learn more today.
(11-5) is your score in favor of Fort Scott here in the ladies contest as the second quarter begins with Fort Scott having possession. I'm Jack Leake III, happy to be back with you alongside Jack Leake Jr. and Jonathan Dusher. Here's a little missed jumper by the Tigers. Rebound, Labette County.
Tell you what, if Labette County can just have 1 or 2 things more go our way, I think we'll really, really stay tight with them. What a move there.
Kaylin McCoy's going to finish underneath the rim with a really nice fake left, go right post move.
That was one of the prettiest moves she's made this year. That was really well done and controlled. It wasn't too fast or too hurried. Really well done there, Kaylin.
11-7, Labette County only down 4. The defense has been really nice for the Grizzlies. They're back in a 2-3 zone here. Abby Gorman is on the bench for Fort Scott. That had been who Millie Carnahan had been face guarding. And there are some really touchy calls taking place. That whistle there on Labette County made Coach Vollmer kind of bend her back and look up to the ceiling here in the gym. And that one's going to go on Jackie Scholl well beyond the arc. In the game for Labette County is Amory Baker in place of Kylie Roberts, and Abby Gorman back in the game for Fort Scott, and Labette County goes back to a box-and-one defense. So 4 of our girls are in a zone, and Amelia Carnahan has been assigned to guard Gorman everywhere she goes on the floor. That's kind of what that means. Tigers miss another 3. Rebound, Labette County. Really working well.
Yes, they are, and slowly gaining confidence against this Fort Scott team. Look at this.
Going inside, McCoy looking strong. She's going to get called for a travel, but she was so close to another crisp, clean 2-point finish.
Yeah, again, to me, the idea that she's catching that down there, expecting to find a way to score is all that matters. You're going to travel sometimes. That's okay.
6:30 left in the second quarter. It's Labette County 7, Fort Scott 11. Here's an open look but missed. Good box outs by Amory Baker and Kaylin McCoy there. Allowed Scholl to come in and collect for Labette County.
Yeah, and a missed shot means they can't press, so it's just a win-win.
They're going inside, and Amory Baker misses. McCoy fouled, hits the deck hard. She's okay, though, and helped to her feet by Scholl, and that's going to go on Rogers. I love it. The defense, the box and one on Gorman is working terrific, and they are looking to just pound it inside to Amory Baker and Kaylin McCoy.
Yeah, Fort Scott doesn't look near as edgy or comfortable right now on either end.
Ball is whipped into McKinley Baker. A rise, fire, and miss, but barely. A tip by McCoy to Baker, and Amory's fouled going up, and she'll shoot two. Kaylin McCoy reached over her defender, swatted the ball like a fly, and kept the possession alive. And Amory Baker has 2 free throws.
Yeah, I can just tell by Fort Scott's body language right now. They're not feeling it. Our girls are getting a little more comfortable here, like I said earlier, kind of having fun with it all. So, you know, Fort Scott's got a good program. Coach Steps is great. He's built a good tradition here. But right now I see, like I said earlier, our team right now can really play with this Fort Scott team.
Amory Baker misses both free throws, and here come the Tigers right to left with the basketball. Stepping into a jumper and getting it to go. I was waiting on the public address announcer to say the young lady's name because I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but he never said it. Maybe he doesn't know. But it's number 10, Kipton Hunziker. And on the other end, Labette County has the ball go out of bounds. Off of themselves, the officials say, and Fort Scott will have possession, up by 6 points.
Yeah, need another good defensive stand here. We've done so well. I think Fort Scott's only scored once so far in the second quarter. So let's get another stop here and then get down there and kind of tighten this game up a little bit more.
5:20 to go in the half. Clark whips it back to Hunziker, and she'll miss the three. Gorman pushed from behind by Carnahan, and the whistle and the foul comes in on Millie. And Jonathan, you said I got that pronunciation right?
I believe, yeah.
Thank you. Just want to make sure. 13-7, Labette County trails with 5:15 left. That's just in the second quarter, and that is just Carnahan's first personal foul.
Yeah, wasn't quite sure on that. I wasn't sure really. I think Millie was going for the ball but shoved the girls. What happened there?
Now Jackie Scholl is in the box and one on Gorman, and the Tigers throw it away. Keely Good, the beneficiary of a poor Tiger pass. Looking inside for McCoy again, fouled on the wraparound by Yarrick. And, well, it appears clear to me what the tactic is on both ends of the floor, and I'm pleased with it.
Yes, get the ball inside, and McCoy and Baker have been getting good position and drawing some fouls and getting some good looks.
Millie, hook pass, Kaylin squares up her man, misses the layup, but that is such a high percentage shot.
Yep, she's not going to miss a bunch of those. That was really good offense right there. I'll take that all night.
Quickly, Tigers squaring up an open three from the top, misses off the heel, rebound Keely Good, what an effort.
Yeah, I can see bounce in our step too. Our girls are feeling different tonight so far. It's just, I can see it.
Keely Good throws it to Amory Baker at the free throw line, rises, fires, and is fouled by Hunziker, and 2 free throws for Amory Baker coming up yet again.
Yeah, I was hoping she would take that to the rim kind of like that. She's so good, especially going left. So hopefully she can knock down a pair here.
First free throw, no. 0 for 3 from the line tonight is the Grizzly senior. Looking to go 1 for 4 with this attempt here. Misses it, but the long rebound's going to go to Keely Good. We'll take it. Carnahan open for 3. Strong. Rebound McElroy.
Okay. I mean, she had a good look there and has made one already tonight. I'm good with that.
Entry pass, right-hand hook, misses strong by Yarrick. Hunziker somehow came away. Long tip off of her miss goes to Carnahan. And both these teams laboring to score. And a long pass goes out of bounds off of Scholl. And Fort Scott will have it. 13-7 is the score with 3:54 left in the first half. Did they change the call, Jonathan?
Yeah, they did, yeah. I thought I signaled that, but then 24 was out of bounds, so I wasn't sure.
So it will be Labette County basketball here, as 2 points by both of these teams combined has been scored through the first 4 minutes of the second quarter. McKinley Baker looks to dump it down, mishandled, or rather stolen by Fort Scott inside in that 2-3 zone, and here they come with it.
Yeah, I might have tried to force that just a little, but still, I like her hustle, and she almost got that ball back for us.
Gorman given fits by Schull, misses, gets her own rebound, and now here's a 50-50 held ball they call, and Labette County will have the possession arrow.
Yeah, I continue to like her hustle here. Everybody's kind of slowly buying into this. I guess buying in is not the right word, but I'm just seeing good effort from whoever's on the court.
Labette County gets it across half court, only down by 6. McKinley Baker, floater, too strong, follows her own shot and collects it. Good, steps into a 3, blocked by Gorman, and she'll bring it right to left.
Yeah, I laugh because I just love it when someone's just a buzz bomb like that everywhere.
3-pointer left wing, misses by Clark. Good box out by Keeley. Good. Labette County has possession again. Nobody's scoring in this second quarter for either team.
Yeah, I feel like Fort Scott's kind of spun up, taking some bad shots. What do we got here? Foul on Fort Scott.
It's a whistle-happy game. I mean, it's not overwhelmed with fouls, but just any flail of the human body and a whistle will follow.
Yeah.
Would we agree with that assessment early, gentlemen?
Yes, and it's killing the flow of the game in some ways, which to me can damage the scoring. I talked right through Roberts making her first free throw there.
That was the 5th team foul on the Tigers, so that does send Roberts to the line. And that's the second personal on Aubrey Yarrick. Roberts misses the second, but the brick goes to Amory Baker. Skip past Millie, left wing 3, strong, but a foul away from the ball on Amory Baker. Darn it.
2 on Amory.
2 on Amory, and perhaps the 5th team foul on Labette County. No, the 4th team foul. And so Amory Baker will have a seat. And Peyton Davis, after she picked up her early second personal as well in the first quarter, is still on the bench as well.
Yeah, we've played really well, and we haven't had her on the floor, so kudos to all the girls that are playing.
Ball on the deck here for the Tigers. Another errant possession picked up by Labette County. Here's an opportunity. Left to right, 2 on 3. Schull rises and misses. Rebound by Clark with 2:10 left in the half.
Some great ball movement there. Schull might have forced a bad shot.
Oh, nobody stopped the ball. And Clark gets a wide open layup. Fort Scott leads 15-8.
Been playing so good, and we just, now we throw it away.
Here's Cowan at the hole, fouled by Carnahan. Her second personal foul as well. And here come 2 free throws for Rayleigh Cowan. You gotta love basketball.
Yeah, I mean, it can flip on you like that. So kind of had things going our way, maybe forced a shot and then threw one away. And so got to just settle in here, get the rebound on this next free throw, and go back to work.
So Erin Dickens, who played a nice JV game earlier, the Labette County junior varsity girls got the win here this afternoon. She comes into the game with Keeley Good. So the 5 on the floor is Jackie Schull, McKinley Baker, Erin Dickens, Keeley Good, and Kaylin McCoy. Cowan missed the first free throw and makes the second, just like she did her last pair of free throws. And Coach Steps would like a time out. We will go ahead and take it with them. A 1-minute break on KLKC.
Here's a bright idea. Make sure you put your pants on before leaving the house. Sure, it seems simple, but sometimes simple doesn't happen. At Idea Tech, we think it's simple to have real people who live in Kansas helping customers. We understand that not everyone in our industry agrees, but then again, not everyone puts on pants before they leave the house. We think it's important to get the simple things right. Putting our pants on and providing local customer service. Another bright idea from Idea Tech.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the four-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
Just under 2 minutes left in the second quarter here in Fort Scott, and Labette County turns it over on a press break. Here comes Cowan, gives it up to Clark. Labette County trails 16-8, and they have really been in this game the whole time, but the Tigers threatening to extend the lead with Davis, Carnahan, and Baker all on the bench with 2 fouls for Labette County. Cowan looks to penetrate, picked up by Baker. That's McKinley. Jumper is good for Mary Malone, a junior, and they lead now by 10. Labette County throws it away again. Fort Scott in transition, right to left. Cowan misses, but she's fouled, and 2 free throws for her coming up.
Yeah, it seems like all of a sudden the last minute and a half's a different team, or, getting antsy and just kind of throwing some crazy passes. So played such a great 12 minutes or 13 or whatever it was. This last minute here is pretty important for us going into the locker room.
Kylie Roberts comes in for Keely Good, who just had her second personal foul charged on her. Cowan makes the first free throw, and the second one is a swish. She has shot 6 of Fort Scott's 8 free throws. Labette County 1 for 6 from the line tonight. Roberts picks her dribble up and finds Baker on the backside. Kaylin McCoy gets the layup to go. Labette County needed it.
Boy, did we. That was so big right there. Feed it into Kaylin, let her go downhill and score. Now let's get a stop here.
Coach Vollmer watching a few of her reserved bench players grind out this last minute or so, arms crossed, watching her defense get after it. Hook pass inside, deflected by Dickens, out of bounds off of her. Fort Scott will have it.
It's great defense there by Dickens. I guarantee you she'll bring a lot of full-on energy too. She's a hard player.
Gorman, the inbounder, defended by Scholl. Bounce pass goes into Lillian Jackson. Back to Gorman, turns, fires, hits.
That's a good shot.
Her first points of the game. She's probably their best shooter.
Yeah, so we've done a good job on it, but that, yeah, almost kind of a quick spin jump shot or whatever. It's pretty.
Foul called on Fort Scott in transition. That's their 6th team foul, so that'll be 2 free throws for Kaylin McCoy at the other end. This will be her first trip to the line.
I see Coach Steps talking to the ref. Hopefully between him and Coach Vollmer we can get these refs to kind of let this game loosen up a little. I mean, they're calling it good. Both sides are getting treated the same.
Yeah.
It's just a little tight.
Both of these teams are in the bonus, which is over 5 team fouls in a quarter. Kaylin McCoy splits the pair of free throws. She's got 5 points and leads Labette County in scoring. So Labette County trails 22-11 with 10 seconds left. Abby Gorman gets a friendly roll, and she goes on a little 4-point spurt to close out the half. Labette County looking to get up the last shot. Kaylin McCoy barely missed the deep 3 at the buzzer. Hit the front of the rim and fell off. So at the end of the first half, it's Labette County 11, Fort Scott 24. Let's take a 5-minute break, And when we return, we will have the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show.
Reaching your goals is closer than you think at LABETTE Community College. With 25 programs of study, 6 certificate options, and a campus that cares, your journey at LCC is sure to lead to success. Become a Cardinal. Visit labette.edu to learn more today.
Discover what you've been missing in Parsons, Kansas. Curious Minds Discovery Zone, a children's museum that inspires a love of learning, with hands-on exhibits for all ages to imagine, create, learn, and discover. Kids enjoy looking through microscopes, building on our magnetic ball run wall, creative play in our doctor's office or grocery store, and lots more. Discover, explore, Parsons, Kansas.
Welcome in, one and all, to the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show, brought to you by Doctors Newland, Gilmore, and Ray. 24-11 is our halftime score in favor of the Fort Scott Lady Tigers. Leading scorer for Fort Scott was Rayleigh Cowan, who had 6 points, and then two players for them had 4 points. Abby Gorman had 4, as well as Lorelei Clark off of the bench. And a third player did as well, J.C. Rogers. So those were the Tigers' leading scorers. And for Labette County, Kaylin McCoy had 5 of our 11 points in the first half. Amelia Carnahan hit a 3-pointer in the first quarter. McKinley Baker had 2 points, but did a lot more than that. Stuff that won't show up on the scores book, she really helped us with. And then Kylie Roberts had 1 point. At the end of the first quarter, it was Labette County 5, Fort Scott 11. And in the second quarter, which was low scoring for the first 5 minutes, the scoring picked up for Fort Scott and a little bit for Labette County. But the Tigers bested the Grizzlies 13-6 in that second period, giving us our halftime score 24-11.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird game for me to explain. If someone's just tuning in, it's 24-11. We're down 13, so we're down more than we've scored. We're down 13, only scored 11. But this has been a good game. That's what's so strange. I think with 2 or 3 minutes left, as you kind of spoke to, we were close to cutting that to like 3 points. Millie had a 3-pointer down here that would have cut it to, like, I don't know, within two or 3 points. I'm just saying, It's been a good ball game. I like our game plan. I like our defense. We played pretty well against a really good team. I mean, the teams they've beat proved to me that they've got a fine team, and we've done it in foul trouble. A couple of our leaders haven't been on the floor much at all that first half. So, hey, let's come out. I know what this group will do. They'll come out hustling like they always do. Maybe we can keep Fort Scott on their heels and, have a few possessions in our favor and just kind of close this gap slowly.
Yes, you're right. Throughout the first half of play, the first player to go out with 2 personal fouls was freshman Peyton Davis, and that happened within the first 4 minutes of the game. And she, never re-entered the contest, so we did not have one of our starters for 12 minutes out of the first 16 minutes of play tonight. Amory Baker, Millie Carnahan, and I think Keely Good there with about 10 seconds left joined that group of girls who had 2 personal fouls in the first half. Now, Coach Vollmer did do a good job, probably wise, pulling them when they picked up the second personal. But whenever you're going into the second half of play, personally, I don't consider 2 personal fouls as, quote, foul trouble yet. 3, yes. 2 with a half to go, I don't.
Right.
Now, can 2 become 3 and 4 really quick? Yes, absolutely. But I do not consider our players necessarily in foul trouble unless maybe that third foul comes really quick. So a few girls with 2 fouls, but that should be okay. They should all return with no restriction, that is, from Coach Vollmer's perspective. 24-11, Fort Scott in front. Just under a minute until the third quarter begins. We'd like to thank a few sponsors before it starts for allowing our broadcast to take place. We would like to thank Labette Health, the Bartlett Co-op, Labette Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Doctors Newland, Gilmore, and Ray, Wood Insurance Center, Labette Community College, and Tank Connection. Back in 30 seconds with the second half on KLKC.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At LABETTE Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at LABETTE Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
Labette County will have possession here in the third quarter after getting a defensive stop. And they'll work right to left here with it to begin the third period. Keely Good is going to get caught traveling. Tried to shoot a three-pointer and got blocked, kind of, sort of, held onto the ball and came back down on both feet, which results in a travel.
The Grizzlies going to apply a little pressure here themselves, or attempt to.
They do get a nice trap on the far side, but a whistle and a foul on Keely Good.
Yeah, you got to be careful pressing with this officiating crew. Again, it's a good crew. They just call pretty much anything that looks foulish.
They actually put that on Amelia Carnahan as her third personal, and when the public address announcer said Amelia's name, she looked at Coach Vollmer and said, "That was on me." It sure looked like it was on Keely, which that wouldn't be good either. That would be her third. And here's a little jumper that goes down for Cowan.
Yeah, we don't want to see Fort Scott get any kind of momentum here. You know, they got a bucket made, so we need to go answer that.
Fort Scott's lead is 15, largest of the game. Ball is tipped out by the Tigers, their press having an impact.
Sometimes when things kind of slowly start slipping, you know, you just kind of feel a team go flat. So the Grizzlies really want to stay high energized and really continue to play hard and aggressive.
A couple substitutions for Coach Vollmer. They're looking to go into Kaylin McCoy, and her right-handed hook shot is good. She even gave herself a little clap after that one went in. She wants it so badly.
Every single time we need to get the ball inside to somebody. They can always kick it back out.
26-13. Labette County trails. Here's a nice high-low pass from the top. Down low inside to Yarick, and she'll score.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often that you get a ball inside that open on the zone.
Jump ball in transition will keep it with Labette County with 6:10 to play in the third period. The five on the court are Carnahan, McCoy, Baker, and that's Amory Baker, Schull, and Roberts. Not a bad home crowd here on a Friday evening. Always a fun place to come play a game. Labette County throws away the inbounds pass. McElroy's going to take it, unselfishly give it up to Cowan rather, but it goes out of bounds. Labette County will have it back. Peyton Davis checks back into the game for Jackie Schull here.
Yeah, Labette County caught a break that time because we gave them such a gift. We can't afford just to throw the ball to them.
And they do. McCoy throws it to Yarick. Layup missed. Rebound Roberts. She's riding the baseline. No foul on the body bump. They're going to say Roberts simply stepped out and turned it over. Tigers back with possession.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we said we wanted less fouls called, so hey.
But what I meant was we want less on us.
Oh, that's right.
More on them.
Yes. McKinley Baker into the game. Kaylin McCoy getting a water break. 5:50 and counting, third quarter. Labette County trails 28-13. Peyton Davis now face guarding Gorman. There's been a few different of our players on her. Done a nice job on their best player. Entry pass denied by Baker and forced it off of Rogers' leg.
Yeah.
Turnover Tigers.
That's better. We've had a couple of pretty good defensive stands, so now let's get the ball up the floor and score. We have to kind of have the 1-2 punch here to get back in this.
Oh, McKinley didn't know that Yarick was there, turned into her, and then traveled as a result. Kind of shocked her a little bit that a defender was right there.
Yeah, those things happen, but I'm telling you, we just have to limit them or we just can't creep back into this, continuing to give them the ball like this.
Tigers passing it around. Cowan, 1 foot in the paint, 1 foot out, kicks it back out, now finds herself back with it. Drives to the right a little bit and is cut off. Leaning into a shot is McElroy, misses, tipped out by Baker, and Fort Scott will keep it. Kind of a longer, more drawn-out possession in tonight's kind of up-tempo game.
Oh, Gorman's getting a little frustrated. Of course, we're trying to not let her even touch the ball. Teams used to do that to Tristan Gegg back in the day. Every game she had 1 or 2 players on her.
Fort Scott throws it in. Labette County is going to get the rebound. Yarick missed the right-handed shot off the glass.
Good strong rebound there by Amory Baker. Kept the ball moving.
McKinley at the free throw line, doesn't like what she has. Carnahan lines up a 3 and bottoms it out. And Labette County is within a dozen on the back of Carnahan's second three-pointer of the game.
Yeah, when she's got just a half a second to set her feet, she's super good from that distance.
Gorman defended tightly after catching it for one of the few times tonight. Here's a jumper that is made by J.C. Rogers from the short corner.
Yeah, that's a good shot by J.C. there, too, I got to say. Yeah, we got another turnover.
Here comes Cowan. Tigers have really done that to Labette County quite a few times tonight, or should I say Labette County has done that to Labette County quite a few times tonight. Here's a foul on Amory Baker. I believe her third as well. Carnahan has 3 too. And Rogers gets 2 free throws.
Yeah, that's kind of tricky, you know, when you start to get 2 or 3 fouls, part of you wants to play a little more careful, but you can't really play aggressive and try to win a ball game if you play too careful defensively. So it's a tricky line you walk.
Rogers makes both free throws. With 4 minutes to play in the third period, Labette County throws it away again. Nice steal by the Tigers, though, and Davis gambles on a passing lane, letting Clark shoot an open one, misses. Rebound Baker clears space and finds Kylie Roberts, who throws it up ahead to Millie.
I feel like if we can get over half court, we've got a pretty good chance to score.
Yep, there you go. Roberts makes a three-pointer from the left wing. Kylie's first made field goal. Labette County within 13, 3:30 in the third quarter.
Good break there by Roberts.
Yeah, Kylie Roberts blocked a pass that went back off of the passer, McElroy, and then went out of bounds.
Kylie continues to play better and better. She had a really good game, in my opinion, last week against Chanute. Just getting more confident and taking it to the hoop and shooting like she just did there and defending well. So proud for her.
32-19 Tigers. 2-3 zone for Fort Scott. It's there. Backdoor Roberts jumper too strong. Rebound Gorman. Really good idea by Labette County there.
Yeah, it was. It was a good look by Baker. Baker also had a chance to drive maybe and get a little shot too, so had our options.
Cowan. And a foul going the other way on the Tigers. Their first team foul of the third quarter. 3 minutes left in it. Kaylin McCoy back in for Kylie Roberts. Labette County only down 13. With the basketball, Jackie Scholl's pass is successful to Millie Carnahan. Bounces around, pivots, throws a tough pass. Somehow Labette County keeps it in play. Millie finds herself back with it, drives. Kaylin, a long jumper, misses. Long board tipped, out. Kaylin McCoy has it and is fouled from behind by Cowan. And Labette County will inbound near half court.
That's a good grab by Kaylin. I thought the Fort Scott girl was going to get that poked out and get a layup, so good hustle there by McCoy.
Grizzlies doing their best to hang around. 32-19 they trail. McCoy looks to drive, finds Millie in the corner, squares it up, missed it short by an inch. Rebound Tigers.
Just shows you again when McCoy penetrated, that all of a sudden opens up the kick out, so that's so important to keep working it inside.
Fort Scott moving the ball well around the zone. They have it. Gorman throws off. Cowan swishes on a jumper, and Coach Steps wants a timeout. It's 34-19 Tigers, back in 1 minute on KLKC.
In 2003, Tank Connection founders envisioned a Southeast Kansas-based company dedicated to innovating voltage storage tanks, offering superior products and services through a customer-focused team. 2 decades later, and products in 64 countries and on 6 continents, this vision endures. Tank Connection employee owners are dedicated to a future where their shared purpose brings empowered realities to as many lives as possible.
Labette County has the ball here, working right to left. Peyton Davis wanted to shoot the 3 but was denied access. And here's a foul on an exchange. Who's it on?
I don't know.
It seems like it's on Rayleigh Cowan of the Tigers, and it is her second and the team's third. Carson Moore checks in for the first time tonight for Labette County. Carson, a 5'10 senior, replaces Kaylin McCoy. Labette County trails by 15, matching their largest deficit of the night. But they've played okay. That's what's funny. That just those turnovers have hurt again tonight.
Yeah, I can see Peyton Davis kind of anxiously wanting to get more involved in this game.
Yeah.
She's used to being super involved in it.
Carnahan driving baseline and stepped out of bounds, we'll say. Turnover, Labette County.
Yep. Fort Scott used the baseline as a 6-man that time, and it paid off.
Long pass for Fort Scott. Finds Gorman, and there's going to be a foul called on Labette County being aggressive. Davis and Schull. As boy, anytime Gorman has gotten it, which she hasn't had the ball a lot tonight because Labette County's done such a good job on her, but when she's got it, you can tell the scouting report is to shut her down.
I think the ref called that on 12. Coach, I might be wrong, Vollmer pulled Peyton out because she's 21. It looked to me like he called the foul on 21, but it went on 12, Schull.
Interesting.
It doesn't matter. Coach Vollmer knows what she's doing. I just picked up on that.
So Davis does have a seat. The foul was on Jackie Schull. Labette County has possession here after getting a stop defensively. And Carson Moore dribbles into the heart of her defender, Rogers, and draws a foul going up as Moore, Amory Baker, McKinley Baker, and Kaylin McCoy all have the ability to catch it, take a dribble, and have something positive happen.
Yeah, Carson's a good player. She's tough. I mean, she comes in, roots around, and fights and battles. So, yeah, she's another really solid player that comes in and gives us some really good minutes.
Labette County had a couple three-pointers, one from Kylie Roberts, one from Millie Carnahan. It felt like a little bit ago that happened, but in reality, it was a few minutes ago of game time. Labette County hasn't scored for a while. Carson Moore misses both free throws, and Fort Scott has 20 seconds, no shot clock. Here's Gorman. Clark, open 3, short, good. Boxes out well on her and collects the rebound and is fouled, and it'll be 2 free throws for Keely Good, as that is the 5th team foul again this quarter on the Tigers.
Yeah, and you kind of look at the score. If we happen to knock 1 or 2 of these down, we get to, we've got 19 to be 34, 20, 21, 13. That's closable.
Keeley makes the first free throw. The Grizzlies have struggled at the line tonight. 3 for 11. Keeley's second is a swish. She hasn't struggled from the line. 2 for 2. 10 seconds left, third quarter. Grizzlies down 13. Clark dribbles between her legs, somehow keeps it alive. The heartbeat in the basketball. Intercepted by Good with 1 second left and won't quite get up a half-court heave in time. At the end of 3, Labette County 21, Fort Scott 34. Back in 1 minute on KLKC.
Here's a bright idea. Streaming without buffering. It's not 2014. There's no reason for laggy internet and buffering shows. IdeaTek has the technology. It's fiber optic cable. IdeaTek has brought high-speed fiber to 75 communities and counting. Don't put up with outdated internet. Stream without buffering. Another bright idea from IdeaTek.
Discover what you've been missing in Parsons, Kansas. Curious Minds Discovery Zone, a children's museum that inspires a love of learning, with hands-on exhibits for all ages to imagine, create, learn, and discover. Kids enjoy looking through microscopes, building on our magnetic ball run wall, creative play in our doctor's office or grocery store, and lots more. Discover, explore, Parsons, Kansas.
Both Fort Scott and Labette County tied with 10 points in that third quarter. Labette County trailed by 13 points at halftime, and that is how many points they find themselves down by as the fourth quarter, the final 8 minutes, begins to drip away here. Tigers have possession. The 5 on the floor for Labette are Good, Amory Baker, McCoy, Davis, and Carnahan. Here's a foul underneath on the Grizzlies. 2 free throws for Yarrick.
Yeah, I wonder here who they're going to call this foul on. That's on Amory. He's at 4. See what Coach Ballmer decides to do with that.
That is 4 on our starting center. First free throw rims off for Yarrick, who has been held to 2 points tonight. She will make the free throw, the second one rather. Here comes Labette County, right to left. Amory Baker, long flip to McCoy, at the hole, scores.
That's how you do it right there. A couple of good quick passes and a lay-in. That'll soften a press up in a hurry. Well done there.
Grizzlies cut it to 12. Clark, push up ahead to McElroy, defended tightly by Good. Davis rides the hip of her defender. Gorman, pocket picked, Carnahan rather. Long pass. Davis misses, tipped about, rebounded by the Tigers.
Yeah, Davis got caught in the middle. She wanted to go either the right or left.
Gorman scores in transition. That's a 4-point swing. Labette County was inches away from getting within 10 points, but instead it goes to 14.
Those are daggers like that when that happens. You got to play through it, though.
Amory Baker heaves one to Millie, squares it up from the corner, swishes it. No, a long 2. They say a long 2-pointer.
Yeah, I knew early in the game when she made that first 3, I knew that would just loosen her up to play athletic, and it has.
Labette County's man-on-man defense spicing up here. Here's a rough shot put up by Hunziker. Rebounded by the Grizzlies, who are within 12 and have the ball. 6 minutes remain. Foul from behind on Yarrick as Baker was reaching for the entry pass.
Chance here for Labette County to cut it to 10, maybe 9, and I don't know what it is, but once you get inside that 10-point distance, it just feels like you're there. So, I mean, being down 9 versus 11, it just sounds like such a massive difference. So, big possession here.
Davis, right wing, head fakes, settles for a long 2, misses. McKinley is there, put back isn't. Oh, man, it spun out just like Tucker Rush's shot on Tuesday, except his went in.
Yeah, she's worked so hard. She deserved that.
She did. Good defense, though, by Labette County. Davis pokes it out. 5:50 left. Labette County trails by 12 points.
Yeah, I've been pleased with our second half performance, and we've had a few things not go our way, I feel like.
Nice defense inside by the Grizzlies. Forces 2 misses, but Fort Scott keeps getting the ball back. And a jump ball, I did not see that at all, is called. And Labette County will have possession, so I suppose I won't complain too long, but nobody had the ball.
I thought it was a foul on us.
I did too. Coach Steps wanted that as well. Carnahan right to left. McCoy, nice find. Davis at the hole, misses, but she's fouled. And she will shoot her first free throws and look for her first points of the game.
Yes, and you can just see it in her, kind of how she's reacting. She's, I wouldn't say frustrated with herself, just so used to being so much more engaged, and when she's wanting to get that first point or two under her wing. There we go.
That free throw makes it an 11-point game. Labette County's in it, and here's why. The defense has been pretty good all game.
Yes.
If you're going to get back into a game, you can't just score. You need to stop the other team from scoring.
Yeah, for sure.
Davis misses the second. It might not be an awful foul. Is called in on Jackie Schull as that stopped Gorman from getting to the rim, which it looked like she was going to be able to do. That's Jackie Schull's third personal.
Big possession here defensively for the Grizzlies.
McCoy blocks the shot of Cowan, and then a tie-up is called on the block, or the rebound following the McCoy block, and the Tigers claim possession of this arrow this time.
Yeah, great block by McCoy, and as soon as she grabs that ball, if she can remember to get it up high and keep it moving, she'll be in good shape.
Ball is in play for the Tigers. McElroy, no. Rebound McCoy finds Carnahan. Grizzlies can get within single digits on this possession.
Yeah, got a chance here.
McKinley Baker, heart of the floor, drives, floater, no. Rebound Davis, good position, misses again, tipped out, rebound Fort Scott.
She's got to be careful here. Don't let her frustration, create an issue for her.
Davis flirting with a foul, but playing good defense, no whistle. Clark, deep three, they didn't need that one, misses, but it's rebounded by the Tigers. Inside layup, good from Rogers.
Those are hard to watch. They didn't really deserve that, in my opinion, but maybe their hustle did, so felt like we owned that one.
Labette County gets it across half court. Here's Jackie Schull with 4:15 to play. Labette County trails by 13 points. They go to Kaylin. She's played great. Spins and scores. How comfortable does she look?
Oh, every possession she's getting just looser and looser and just playing free and relaxed. It's so fun to watch this.
Tigers shot contested, no, blocked by McCoy, and it hit behind the backboard as a result. So Fort Scott will keep it, but Kaylin McCoy imposing her will. Here comes Kylie Roberts and Amory Baker for McKinley Baker and Peyton Davis.
Yes, goodness. Yeah, McCoy's playing coast to coast. She's blocking shots and doing it all.
3:55 fourth quarter. Labette County back within 11. Carnahan stole the ball, but a foul called on her, and now she has 4 personals.
Millie's deceptively quick. I mean, her hands are quick. She's anticipates passes.
Her brother Chase Carnahan was one of the best on-ball defenders we've seen in recent years. Tigers underneath get a bucket plus the foul, and that one kind of breaks the old back as Rogers again hurts us underneath. She has 8 points total in the second half, with 9 here from the free throw line coming potentially.
Yeah, I got to give it to him. That's good scrappy defense, or rather good scrappy hustle there by Fort Scott. They stayed after it, got themselves a second, third attempt, and it's going to happen.
And that was the 5th and final foul on Amory Baker, who is forced to check out of the game, of course. Tigers on the missed free throw get the rebound but miss the putback. And the Grizzlies have it down by 13.
Oh.
Here's a cutting Kalen, and McCoy scores it. And Coach Ballmer wants a 60-second timeout. Kalen McCoy with 13 points here tonight. Labette County back within 11 points with 3:30 left in the game. Let's take 30 seconds on KLKC.
At LABETTE Center, we have worked hard to make it easier than ever to start on your journey to wellness. The center provides a full range of mental health and substance use services to individuals of all ages. With expanded services and same-day access, you can begin your journey when you are ready. Visit our website at lcmhs.com to find out more about our services and begin your journey to wellness today. LABETTE Center for Mental Health. Help for today, hope for tomorrow.
We'd like to thank a few sponsors for allowing this broadcast to take place. We would like to thank SEK Orthopedics, Doctors Mosier and Meister, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clemens Insurance Agency, the Unified School District of USD 506, Elm Haven Nursing Home and Woodridge Estates, and Carson Wall Funeral Homes. Labette County playing defense here on this possession, something they have done pretty well all game long, holding the Tigers to 41 points. Clark open for three, swishes it for Fort Scott, and it's back up to a 14-point Tiger advantage.
Yeah, that was a big shot right there. They missed that. You know, we get down there and keep our momentum going, so got to credit Clark. That was a pretty deep shot. She cashed it.
A foul pretty quick on the press break on Abby Gorman for the Tigers. Peyton Davis splits defenders, misses a floater, gets her own miss, put back, yes.
There you go. That's what hustle and following your own shot will get you right there, and that'll get her pumped up even more.
44-32. Fort Scott in front with the ball. 2:50 left in the contest. Gorman from 8 feet will not miss that often, and she does not miss that this time. She has 8 points.
Yeah, that just proves to you why we've been face guarding her all night.
Kaylin McCoy misses a teardrop at the rim. It was a tough shot, but it almost went down. Rebound Tigers. That would have given McCoy 15 points on the game.
Yeah, another great look by Kaylin. You can't make them all, but that was really nice move there too. Good shot.
Labette County has 5 team fouls, so any foul from here on out, and it is 2 free throws for the Lady Tigers. Cowan penetrates and kicks. Tigers content to burn clock. Gorman hits the deck, finds the ball, and scores. Shot clock was about to expire.
Of all the fouls they called tonight, they didn't call that one. That one caught me.
48-32, 1:50 left in the game. Carnahan 3, no. Rebound Clark. Poked out by Scholl. Jackie's a pretty good on-ball defender as well for Labette County.
Yes, she is.
It went out of bounds, though, so Fort Scott will inbound it across from where we sit. So Fort Scott is 1:40 seconds away from going to 6-1 on the season and still undefeated at 3-0 in the league. And Labette County is close to falling to 2-6 on the year and 1-3 in the conference. Here's Millie Carnahan with an on-ball steal. She'll fake like she's going to slow down, then speed up. A hook pass to McCoy was beautiful, but a foul prior to that. Man, what a nice pass that was, but there was a foul that kind of stopped the play on Lorelei Clark.
Sure was. You can't cross-dribble in front of Millie. She'll take it every time.
Davis drives, misses on a fadeaway layup on the weak side. Fort Scott on the bleed out. Cowan scores in transition.
Well, this game's going to end up to look a little bit bloodier than it was. been a good effort, in my opinion, from our girls tonight. Good game plan, good effort.
50 seconds remain. Labette County trails by 18. A lot of Labette County's contests this year have held a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
Labette County's fought and been kind of close, and then that final score leaks out just a little bit on us. McKinley Baker tries to draw a foul and does. Nice effort there to lean into the defender and draw the foul.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. It's not lack of effort. We've got heart and effort. We're continuing to get better and better, especially on our inside play. Turnovers, if we could clean up one thing, in my opinion, be turnovers. Doesn't mean we're going to win every game going on, but it would just sure help.
Yeah, it would raise the floor quite a bit.
Yeah.
McKinley makes the first free throw, and the second is just a little bit strong. Rebound Clark with 45 seconds left. The Grizzlies trail by 17. Cowan's going to man the ship. Davis defending her with 0 inches of space between them. And then a foul going up on Davis. So Cowan will earn herself a trip. Davis a little bit visibly frustrated in this one tonight as it's kind of gone on. Picked up 2 personal fouls early and then just never quite got in game speed flow.
Yeah, you can just see the competitive spirit and how she handles herself out there. She hates losing. I mean, who doesn't? But, I mean, she can't stomach it. So something tells me even at home playing games with the family, she probably gets pouty if someone beats her at checkers, that type of competitive.
Oh, I'm familiar with that type of competitiveness. Are you, Jonathan?
It's me.
Oh, it is you. Okay,
it's
all right.
Me.
I think we can relate to that a little bit. Both free throws missed by Cowan. Still a 17-point game with 25 seconds left. Labette County has the ball. Millie Carnahan, who's played pretty shifty tonight, finds Davis, who scores it off the glass. So 5 fourth-quarter points for Peyton Davis.
That's right. Never give up. Play smart, play quick. Good lay-in there by Peyton.
Clock under 5 seconds, and it should run out here. 2-1. And the final score will be Labette County 35, Fort Scott 50. So a 15-point win is what it ends up being for the Lady Tigers that move on to 6-1 on the year. Labette County 2-6. We will step aside for a 1-minute break and have a Bowen Pharmacy post-game show for the girls' contest.
In 2003, Tank Connection founders envisioned a southeast Kansas-based company dedicated to innovating voltage storage tanks, offering superior products and services through a customer-focused team. 2 decades later, and products in 64 countries and on 6 continents, this vision endures. Tank Connection employee owners are dedicated to a future where their shared purpose brings empowered realities to as many lives as possible.
Welcome in, Grizzly Nation, to the Bowen Pharmacy post-game show of Labette County Lady Grizzly basketball. The Lady Tigers get the best of us here tonight by a score of 50-35. The 3 leading scorers for Fort Scott tonight was Rayleigh Cowan and J.C. Rogers, who each had 12, and Abby Gorman, who was the primary focal point coming in for Labette County defensively, still ended up with 10 points. For Labette County, Kaylin McCoy played her best game of the season, 13 total points, and they just came comfortably and confidently from the Grizzly sophomore. Millie Carnahan ended the night with 8 points. Peyton Davis had 5. Kylie Roberts had 4. McKinley Baker had 3, but played perhaps her best game of the season.
Yes.
McKinley did, away from the ball and making plays on it too. And Keely Good had 2 points to round out the scoring for Labette County. At halftime, it was Labette County 11, Fort Scott 24, so Fort Scott led by 13 points at halftime. In the third quarter, both of these teams tied with 10 points apiece, and in the fourth quarter, Labette County was bested by Fort Scott 16-14, so it was only a 2-point differential in the second half.
Yes.
It was that first half where the margin was created, giving us our final score of Fort Scott 50, Labette County 35. Labette County, the road ahead on Tuesday, will get a break from SEK League play and will play a new opponent for this year at Iola. I'm really excited for that. I think that's a smart, local, scheduled pickup opponent, and that'll be fun. Should kind of, off the top of my head, be kind of an even, similar matchup for both girls and boys. Looking forward to that one on Tuesday, and a lot of promise came out of tonight. In particular, I thought Kaylin McCoy shined pretty bright tonight.
Oh, she's improved every game, and she's made strides the last couple. And all she's really done is quit worrying about misses and whatnot and expecting good things to happen and giving herself a chance to be successful. And so I could just see her confidence growing, and I'll keep this super brief. I told a story about her early in the season, but in late August, early September, tennis season, volleyball season, I went down to the gymnasium on a Saturday. No one was there. The lights were off, and I was returning some cornhole things from an FCA event. Guess who's in a gym with no lights on shooting baskets on a Saturday in September?
Kaylin McCoy.
Yeah, and I think, of course, maybe
That's
a
awesome.
parent was with her. She's down there working when nobody's looking. So I'm happy because, you know, when you put your work in, you deserve to have good things happen. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Super excited about that.
That's awesome. I think we have Mr. Wybera maybe listening, my old English teacher. 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours. And Kaylin McCoy was putting in hers there in the gym that day. That's a neat story. Labette County falls 50-35 and will play at Iola on Tuesday. But stay with us. We will have a Tank Connection pregame show here in 5 minutes for what should be an electric boys contest. Welcome in, Grizzly fans, to the Tank Connection pregame show of Labette County Grizzly basketball. We have a fun one on tap for you. The Grizzlies and the Tigers. Labette County coming off of a pretty much buzzer-beating victory on Tuesday night over Chanute. 43-41 was the final score of that one in favor of your Grizzlies. Been a fun season for Coach Argabright's squad on the hardwood. They play fast, they play fun, they enjoy each other, and they like to compete.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what to tell you what to expect tonight, but it'll be fun. I kind of get just a buzz thinking about, that energetic buzz in my belly just thinking about this group teeing off here in a minute. They play so, when I say spun up, it's controlled. But it's just the type of basketball I like to watch. It just doesn't slow down. It's full of energy. And what a fun, competitive group. We've enjoyed watching this group of young men since August. So the only thing that's changed is the shape of the ball, pretty much, other than, of course, we've added some great athletes that didn't play football. So, this ought to be another good one. Fort Scott will compete well as well. And so, let's just get it started and kind of see how this works out.
I was mistaken. 49-47 in favor of Labette County was the final score on Tuesday. Both of these teams coming in with pretty similar records. Labette County 5-2 on the year. Fort Scott 4-2. Labette County has played one more game on the year than the Tigers have. The Tigers are 1-1 in SEK conference play. It's still so early, but I might as well let you know. Tigers 1-1 in conference. Labette County 2-1 with 2 straight victories, one at Parsons and home against Chanute, and that one loss came before Christmas break at home against Independence, 59-51. Perhaps Labette County's poorest performance of the year led to that 8-point loss. They're at home on December 16th, but they'll look to win 3 straight here tonight at Fort Scott, a team in which I went down their roster here when we got to the arena, and I just kept saying, I recognize that name, I recognize that name. And sometimes, I've done this 7 years now or so, right in there, and you kind of get an idea of some of the kids and whatnot. And I feel like I've been saying some of these names for, 4 years now.
Yeah.
They are loaded just like we are, play similar, and like to get out and run. This is going to be a fun, quick, up-tempo game, I think.
Yeah, it sure will. And something tells me that Fort Scott's radio guys who are right beside us might be saying something similar about Kagan Bates. There it is.
Right.
Wait a minute, I remember this name too. So You're right. These are 2 seasoned teams, and this is kind of how we want it. So it should be a great competitive matchup here tonight, Fort Scott.
2.5 minutes until starters. Let's go ahead and step aside for a 1-minute timeout. This is the Tank Connection pregame show.
Here's a bright idea. Streaming without buffering. It's not 2014. There's no reason for laggy internet and buffering shows. IdeaTech has the technology. It's fiber optic cable. IdeaTech has brought high-speed fiber to 75 communities and counting. Don't put up with outdated internet. Stream without buffering. Another bright idea from IdeaTech.
Reaching your goals is closer than you think at Labette Community College. With 25 programs of study, 6 certificate options, and a campus that cares, your journey at LCC is sure to lead to success. Become a Cardinal. Visit labette.edu to learn more today.
One minute until tip-off of a dandy of a matchup here on a Friday night in Fort Scott, Kansas. Thanks for making us a part of your evening. However you may be listening, which would be on 106.7 FM Parsons, or KLKC Sports on YouTube. I'm Jack Leake III alongside my father, Jack Leake Jr., and the Johnny D, Jonathan Dusher, on the camera. So that I asked him to bring me sour Skittles from the concession stand. If we're ever at an away game or a home game and you're listening and you just so happen to be at a game in the future, I like sour Skittles. That's all. I didn't ask for anything. I just said I like sour Skittles, all right? And he brings me regular Skittles. So they were out. They didn't have sour Skittles?
They had 0 sour Skittles.
Darn it.
I asked the lady, I was like, you got any sour Skittles? And she was like, unfortunately, no. So she had to have gotten that question like 32 times today.
That's funny. Jonathan, I appreciate you. Thank you. I'll take these with content tonight. But they're going to do the national anthem again for the boys' game. Some schools do that. Some schools don't. Let's go ahead and step aside for 1 minute and come back with starters here on KLKC. Starters, and we'll go ahead and jump on it and get going here. Starters for Labette County wearing road red uniforms is going to be number 3, a junior, Kane Nash. Number 4, a senior, Kagan Bates. Number 5, a junior, Nolan Nash. Number 24, a senior, Barrett Heston. And number 33, a junior, Tucker Rush. So all upperclassmen in the starting lineup for Labette County. 3 juniors and 2 seniors for the Grizzlies. And starting for the home team, the Fort Scott Tigers in home white uniforms.
We got 2 10s and 2 11s and 2 50s.
Number 3, a 6-foot-tall senior, Dirks Kegler. Number 10, a 6'5 junior, Drayden Marlowe. I can tell he's 6'5, so that's easy. Number 11, a 6'3 senior, Kanan Brown. Number 15, a 6'3 senior, Tyler Anderson. And number 34, a 6'2 senior, Aiden Ogren. As you're right, they have duplicate numbers on the roster, but thankfully I recognize those kids from previous seasons. Head coach for Labette County, Bradley Argabright, assisted by Brian Tucker and David Brown. Head coach for Fort Scott, Brennan Feeback, assisted by Jason Young, Danny Larson, and Trent Steps. Tip-off in 30 seconds on KLKC. Fort Scott wins the tip, and a backdoor lob set play is successful for the Tigers. Kanan Brown.
Yeah, got to applaud that. That was kind of a pretty play right there. Well timed and well executed.
So Labette County trailing early, 2-0. Bates drives, backdoor of our own to Nolan, out of his grasp, turnover Grizzlies.
Yeah, kind of a tricky little pass there to handle, but like we always say, it takes probably a minute and a half, 2 minutes for teams to kind of somewhat settle into game time.
Long pass up ahead is errant, but out of bounds off of Labette County. Fort Scott will keep, but nice pressure applied by Coach Argebright's defense.
Yeah, Kagan Bates did a nice job there. Surprise, surprise, and disrupting that pass.
Dirks Kegler, their kind of captain offensively, rises, fires, and hits.
Okay, Fort Scott's had a couple of nice possessions, so Labette County's turn to have something good happen down on the offensive end here.
It's been a while, if I'm not mistaken, since Labette County has had a quality performance in this gym. Three-pointer missed by Nolan Nash, rebound Kegler. Kick out, extra pass. Ogren at the hole, wave off the shot, charge on the Tigers. Sacrificing his body, Kagan Bates.
There's that great neutralizer taking the charge. I mean, you look at it, that would have been 6-0, 3 successful attempts offensively. Otherwise, now you get the 2 points pulled back off, a little momentum change. That was huge right there.
6:30 to go in the first quarter. Kane Nash, who had 4 threes on Tuesday night, if I remember right, passes off. Here's Tucker Rush. He'll score at the rim, and he played really well on Tuesday night as well.
Yeah, solid as always. But, yeah, Kane stayed with it. He shot a little bit so-so in the first half, and then came out in the second half and just kept giving himself a chance to be successful. Yeah, 4 in a row.
So 4-2 is the score. Tigers in front, 6 minutes to play, opening quarter. Kegler spins, dribbles with his off left hand, gives off. Here's a drive by Marlowe. No on the shot, yes on the rebound, Labette County. Nolan Nash prances across the hardwood, leans, fires, misses. Rebound Ogren. Outlet pass, pushes quickly here. Marlowe at the cup, misses the layup. Tipped out by Ogren, I think off of him. Oh no! They're going to say that was off of Labette County. I think it went off of Ogren, but not going to get changed. Fort Scott basketball.
Yeah, I did too, but you're right. The call's the call.
Kegler to inbound, surveys his options. One-arm flip, finds Tyler Anderson. Here's a steal. Nolan Nash gets in a passing lane. Kagan Bates on the outlet. Hook pass. Heston, 3 for the lead. Short, rebound Kegler.
Yeah, that was a nice play. Good kick out. Good shot there. Barrett needs to always shoot that.
Nobody stops Kegler. He'll go the distance and lay it in. 5 minutes to play first quarter. Tigers lead by 4.
Yeah, he's too good a player to not stop the ball. He'll do that every time, so got to challenge that.
Barrett Heston throws into Tucker Rush, working on Ogren. One-arm flip. 3-point shot on its way and short by Kagan Bates. Here comes Kegler. Good point guard for them.
Yeah, I need to get a good defensive stop here. Fort Scott's a nice team here, so I think we touched one there. We didn't have to, but that's okay.
Heston poked it out of bounds, so Fort Scott will maintain possession.
Oh.
Brown throws it in. Bates dove for the basketball, and that's a foul going the other way on Dirks Kegler.
Yeah, like he tripped him. I don't necessarily think he did, but yeah, that's a foul. It's a good call because Kagan would have had a layup there.
See what I'm saying? Now the Fort Scott student section is filled in and active in the game. I don't know why I keep saying that, but it's just so noticeable to me. I've yet to find a student section better than Labette County's. Nolan Nash drives, does a little bit of dancing with his feet, and travels. Right idea, but turned it over.
Nolan's such a great shooter. I don't know why he passed that open 3 up. what did he make at Parsons? 6, 7, 8 that night or whatever? So.
He made 8, but you just wanted to say 6, 7.
No.
You've been pulled into the 6-7 pit of death, let me tell you.
Fighting for that to go away.
6-2. You like it, don't lie. Fort Scott leads, 4 minutes to play, first quarter. Kegler defended tightly by Bates. Those are 2 all-SEK guards right there. Here's a drive, a shot missed by Brown, but puts it back up and in.
Yeah, so far most of the possessions have been just too easy for Fort Scott. We got to scrap for rebounds and really make them work harder than they're having to.
3:50 first quarter, Labette County 2, Fort Scott 8. Kane Nash fakes right, goes left, rises on a jumper and buries it.
Yeah, that's big. He's just kind of picking up where he left off from last week. Oh, got a turnover.
Fort Scott can't inbound the basketball. Kadai Moreland just checked into the game and stepped on the baseline and turned it over.
Heard a couple extra whistles. I didn't know if something else.
I don't know what that was.
There.
I don't know what that was for either. So Labette County gets a free possession. Bates goes in between his legs, loses it out of bounds off of the foot of Kegler. So Labette County will keep it. 3:30 to play, opening quarter. Labette County only down by 4. It's just been kind of a storm for Fort Scott on a few offensive possessions. Kane Nash settles into another jumper and swishes it.
How pretty is that? Man, that jump shot of his hangs for about 2 or 3 seconds. Kane feeling it.
Labette County, hopefully that segues into the defensive end of the floor as well. They get it across, though. Here comes Brown up ahead. Kegler has to adjust, misses. Rebound Tucker Rush. Left to right, Barrett Heston quickly to the cup for the tie. No. Rebound Tigers.
That was well played there by Barrett. I like that. Went coast to coast with it. Gave himself a chance to make a kind of a lay-in.
Here's a little drive and a pretty finish.
Yeah, he
by Marlowe.
Yeah, and he did a good job of kind of sliding. He didn't give himself a chance to pick up a charge. He slid a little bit to the left. That was well done.
Right hand drive. Kane Nash looked to finish with the left on the inside of his opponent, but missed it by a touch. And Labette County's got to hustle back and play defense.
I like how Kane's playing relaxed and confident. That was another really good move down there. Just didn't go in.
2 minutes to play, first quarter. Labette County trails 10-6. A fake handoff by Brown, but Barrett doesn't bite on it. Here's a give back to Kegler. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Lost it, and a double dribble called on the Tigers.
Yeah, really good defense. He's a type of player maybe we can get frustrated a little bit. You know, we defend so well. We can take a player that's used to kind of having things come easy. Right now, we're kind of frustrating him on every other possession.
Labette County has not won in this gym in 3 years. The last win came January of 2023. The last 2 losses have been by big margins. Kane Nash with another 3. He has 7 of our 9 points, and it's a 1-point contest.
Look out. I can just tell.
Fort Scott gets over the nagging press. Colton Weil in the game in place of Nolan Nash. And Carson Lamb in for Barrett Heston. 1:10 first quarter. Labette County only down a point, and a touch foul called on Colton Weil, who just got a little too handsy for the ref's liking.
Yeah, Fort Scott thinks that by picking Kagan and switching with Colton's going to be less pressure. They're crazy. I mean, they're both intense defenders.
Camden Good comes in alongside Cooper Leonard for Labette County. Yeah, Camden Good's feet was on the red baseline, and the ref stops play and gives Camden a sideline warning, so he'll have to back up a little bit. Defending Brown a little too close. Ball goes in. Kegler has it, defended by Weil. Marlowe throws to Brown. Kane Nash working on him, the hot hand. Here's a shot missed. What a rebound by Carson Lamb. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The most athletic and strong rebound that you'll ever see is apparently a foul.
And what's worse is the ref called it from half court when there's a ref underneath the basket 4 foot from it.
I mean, Carson jumped 40 inches off the ground, grabbed it with one hand, and it was a foul. But Labette County gets the ball back off a Tiger miss. Boy, Kane Nash or Steph Curry, my eyes, I can't quite tell. Man, he looks comfortable. Another three, missed it. Oh, it hit the back of the rim and thought about going down. Rebound Labette County, though, kept alive by Lamb. 30 seconds first quarter. Labette County only down a point.
Yeah, I got a good feel right now. There's just a really good jive going on with this group.
And on the bench is Tucker Rush, Nolan Nash, Barrett Heston, and Kagan Bates. This team is just deep. Kane settles into another, misses, rebound by Moreland.
Yeah, that's okay. That's how they come. You make 3 or 4 in a row, and then you miss a couple. That's how you kind of end up with a 50, 60% shot percentage.
5 seconds, first quarter. Kegler fades, misses. Rebound Tigers. Moreland misses at the buzzer. And Labette County escapes the first period with just a 1-point deficit after Kane Nash rattled off 7 straight points. We'll return in 1 minute with the second period on KLKC.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At LABETTE Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at LABETTE Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during couples court. Couples share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Krause in the House gets you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere at KLKCRadio.com.
Labette County will have the favor of the possession arrow to open up the second period. So if they score here, they will have their first lead of the game. Colton Weil still in the game to begin the second quarter alongside Bates, who travels, and Nolan Nash, Carson Lamb, and Barrett Heston. So turnover Labette County on possession number 1.
Yeah, anytime even one of your feet skid like that, it just gives the illusion, if you traveled or not, it looks as if you did, so that's going to get called.
Oh, man, here's a second personal foul on Dirks Kegler as Fort Scott is having a hard time inbounding the basketball. They threw it in. It was intercepted by Weil, and he was immediately body checked by Dirks Kegler, his second personal. Grizzlies snatch back possession.
Be interesting to see how much longer he plays.
A set play for Bates, but doesn't shoot the three. Leans in, fires, misses. As you could tell, Kegler was a little timid defensively there, but Fort Scott rebounds it.
That's exactly what happens. He's a smart player, and he knows he can't get a third foul, but he'll be a less defender because it.
There is a Tiger at the scores table for Coach Feeback. Would highly assume that's to get Kegler out of the game, but risky not doing it right when it happened. Here's Brown, given fits by Lamb. Labette County's man defense came to play today. Weil defends Kegler. 1 second on the shot clock, and that's a violation on the Tigers. The Labette County defense suffocating.
Yeah, that's fun. That's such a massive lift when your defense can do that. I mean, that's a checkmate move right there.
Jax Armstrong in the game for Dirks Kegler indeed, who will sit down with 2 personals. Bates fakes a pass, shoots a floater that drips off. Nolan fights and will lose the battle for the rebound. They say it went out of bounds off of the junior's hands.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. Kagan kind of went in there with a lot of clutter, but that's just part of his aggressive competitiveness right there, wanting to score.
6:40, second quarter. Labette County down a point. Wow. Here's a tipped pass that's going to go to the Tigers. Inside, working hard is Tyler Anderson. Rotation 3, Marlowe, no. Tipped to Brown. Fort Scott getting the benefit of some rebounds here as they call a jump ball on the third rebound of the possession here. And Kanan Brown threw the basketball off the backboard.
Talk about some frustration. That could have been a technical.
Yeah, kind of threw the ball off the backboard in frustrating fashion after the jump ball was called. Yeah. Tigers keep it with possession arrow in their favor.
Yeah, Brown's right on the edge of losing his temper right now.
Stepping out of bounds was Anderson, turning it over here. Yeah, the last 2 times Labette County's played here, they lost 71-52 and 60-33. And it's 10-9 Tigers right now. And Labette County has kind of the energy right now.
Yeah, I like the feel of it right now. I feel like we're going to continue to impact this game. I don't know. I just feel like we're in a good spot right now.
I do too. Here's Bates inside, misses, put back by Carson Lamb. He can elevate, and he finished right there.
Yeah, Carson's another that's come a long way in the last couple games, just really impacting with his minutes.
5:40, second quarter. Here's a batted pass by Bates, intercepted by Lamb, and a foul from behind on Fort Scott. Oh boy, Labette County, if that foul did not happen, had Kagan Bates wide open up ahead, but will take the foul. That's the first personal on Jax Armstrong.
Yeah, what a great job there by that group. High fives as the new players come in. So, yeah, just maintain the same intensity and keep up the pressure.
The 5 on the floor for Labette County as Bates shoots a 3 and misses. Are Kagan Bates, Nolan Nash, Tucker Rush, Kane Nash, and Barrett Heston. Here's a block shot by Bates. Right underneath the rim was Anderson, and Bates said, Here come the Grizzlies left to right with Mo. Bates blocked, no. Fouled by Anderson. And Fort Scott's slowly getting irritated, and Bates is going to shoot 2 free throws.
Our defense does that to teams. Just when they think they've got a simple little shot down here, you got Kagan Bates, our point guard.
Labette County is signaling as if a technical was called on Fort Scott, as Kagan Bates is standing at the free throw lane with nobody around him, not a Tiger, not a Grizzly. And we'll see. We have never gotten explanations from the officials, really, on what
player
it was.
10, they just put player 10 a foul.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
Bates got fouled on the layup attempt, but I thought it was by Tyler Anderson.
Is that 15?
So maybe, yes. So maybe Anderson got a personal foul as Bates makes the first, and perhaps Drayden Marlowe got a technical foul.
That's exactly what happened because 15's, he's coming out. 15's number was up there about 6 seconds ago, and
there you
10's
go.
got flashed up.
Okay, thank you. So Bates makes the first. So does he get 4 free throws?
Yeah, but these will come with players on the. Oh, I guess they'll just do 1. I'd rather have players down there.
I know. It's hard to shoot free throws when no one's in the lane. So Bates split the first pair of free throws. Now here is the second pair, and the first one's good. It's so funny whenever you can sense that a technical's going to happen. 5 out of 10 times it does. Second free throw good as well.
Which means 5 out of 10 times it doesn't.
So are you just dogging my point or support? 50%'s just a safe number to say there.
True. Yeah.
Man,
just having some fun with it. Well, I've noticed those Skittles you didn't want are disappearing pretty quickly too, actually.
They're not bad. 14-10, Labette County leads after Bates went 3 for 4 from the free throw line with the technical called on Marlowe. 4:50, second quarter. Bates open right wing, missed it. Rebound Moreland for Fort Scott.
Yeah, not a bad shot there. You know, you're not going to make all those, so good shot by Kagan.
Moreland, heart of the floor. Ogren steps into a three, swish, big man, pretty shot.
Yeah, it was. What are you going to say about that? So 14-13 game. Grizzlies are up by 1 now.
Been kind of a defensive effort by both these teams. Tucker Rush, top of the key, throws off to Kane Nash. Nolan denied the three by his man Brown. He'll look to drive. Nash kicks it out to Kane. 6-second shot clock. Heston misses the three. Rebounded by Ogren.
Yeah, Barrett's like all these other guys. Just keep shooting when you get a shot. They'll start falling.
Anderson throws off to Brown. Tigers looking to reclaim a lead here. Floater, good by Brown.
Yeah, he got a nice bounce that time. I mean, the so-so shot just got a really nice bounce.
15-14 Tigers, 3:30 second quarter. Bates, what a move, steps back, misses it off the heel. That would have brought the bench down for Labette County. What a nice snatch back.
Is that called breaking ankles or whatever?
I think that's what the kids call it. He didn't fall down, but still that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Moreland throws a backdoor pass that's bailed out by a foul on Barrett Heston. It wasn't a great pass. It was intercepted, but a foul is whistled in on Barrett. That is Labette County's first foul of the second quarter. Fort Scott up to 4.
Yeah, those are always hard when you kind of hit the pass, but you also hit the player, so it's kind of it's a foul, I guess, but you also knock the ball out.
Fort Scott throws it in to Nolan Nash, who has open planes in front of him and scores it. Labette County retakes the lead.
Yeah, you're not going to catch him when he gets out front like that. No way.
Fort Scott in a half-court situation. It's a 1-point game, and Fort Scott's played okay. They've played fine, but they are visibly irritated by Labette County's defense.
Yeah, we do. Like I said, we do that to people.
Brown, tough floater, misses, tipped out and saved by Nolan Nash. Here comes Kane, left to right, weaving in and out of white jerseys, and a foul called on Armstrong, and that's the 5th team foul on the Tigers. 2 free throws for Kane Nash.
Yeah, I mean, who's number 5? Sorry, Armstrong's frustrated, but yeah, that's just too tight, too handsy, that's a foul. He's frustrated too.
And I get it, the foul count is 5-1. The technical helped with that too, But I get that aspect of it. But just the eye test, I don't see this being an unfairly officiated contest. I see Labette County's man-on-man defense just playing really well right now. First free throw good by Nash, as is the second. His development as a shooter on this team, he's always fit with the others, but him shooting has, just really helped mightily.
Yeah, and that's something going on. Oh, okay.
The officials stopped play, and they're pointing to perhaps some fans in the crowd. I don't know. So we'll see if talking to some administration for Fort Scott as well, perhaps a fan might get some talking to. I don't know. Always kind of not exciting, but something that kind of people start to gooseneck about.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody got in trouble. But 18-15, Labette County in front. 2:30 left in the second quarter. And so both teams went to their benches for about 5 seconds while the fan is coming down from the stands, and now they're back on the floor for play. Right to left, Fort Scott has possession. Anderson traveled. Man, they are uncomfortable. Weird.
Yeah. Well, that's what, when you dribble into a defense that is just everywhere, I think it affects your dribbling, your passing. You're tight.
Yeah. Here's a set play for Kane Nash, but defended well by Armstrong. Kick out here. Nolan steps into a left winger, missed it, tipped out. Moreland collects.
Yeah. Again, I say to Nolan, just keep shooting.
If the ref didn't call that foul, we might have 15 fans kicked out of here. As Kane Nash really tried to go after that ball, and Moreland hit the deck, and the foul was called in on Nash.
Yep, it's probably the right call.
Here's an entry pass nearly stolen. Fort Scott gets on the backside of it. Armstrong bangs home a three. And it is a tied ball game amidst the flurries of emotions.
Yeah, it's been a wild one, but it's a good one. Just like we said, it'll be fun.
Here's a steal by Armstrong. Right to left, he'll dial in an angle. Stripped by Kane Nash, and then a foul on Labette County, as they're going to look for anything they can to try to slowly even out that foul count, especially here in Fort Scott. As I think that's just kind of the psyche of the matter sometimes, is it probably was a foul, but they're going to be more prone to call it when it's a 5-2 foul count.
Yes,
it's just how it works.
Yes, and basketball arenas really, the fan base does affect you.
Here's a two-point shot that is good by Anderson, and now Fort Scott leads by 2. What a fun ball game here.
Yeah, Fort Scott looks a little gassed. Armstrong's got his mouth agape, just trying to catch air.
Heston settles into a jumper, misses it. Haven't been a lot of stoppages. These players might be a little tired. Rebound Tigers, 1:15 until halftime. It's 20-18 Fort Scott.
Yeah, there's been a lot of energy out here.
A Moreland three-pointer misses. Rebound Tucker Rush. Labette County showing no signs of slowing down. Kagan Bates pushing pace into the paint. Kane Nash tray ball short. Sharp off the rim goes to Nolan. Fresh 35 seconds for Labette County. Tucker Rush 5 feet from the rim. Doesn't like what he has. Heston for 3. Swish!
What we talked about, you're just that good enough shooter. You got to keep shooting.
21-20, Labette County in front. 40 seconds left in the half. A turnover, a steal. Kane, lefty, misses. Long tip to Kagan. Labette County can hold, but Kagan's not looking at it. He's going to shoot and miss, but he's fouled. I'm not sure what Coach Argabright was desiring his boys to do, but they had numbers, so you might as well try to go get it. And Bates is going to shoot 2 free throws.
That's probably frustrating for a coach when he's at the far end and the gym's so noisy. But you trust your players, your boys, to do what they think's best in that situation.
Bates swishes the first free throw. He's 4 for 5 from the line tonight. Kane Nash is going to take a well-deserved rest alongside Barrett Heston. Hayden Weatherall in the game for Labette County, alongside Colton Weil. Labette County up by 2. Kagan Bates to make it 3. Yes.
Well, this would be a nice opportunity here to maybe get a stop and a score and go into halftime.
25 seconds, second quarter. Fort Scott's pass finds Armstrong. One more for the Ty Ogren. No box out. At the hole is Anderson. Misses. Rebound Weatherall with 10 seconds left on the clock. And he finds Nolan Nash. 6 seconds, now 5 seconds. Labette County up by 3. Nolan, a toughie, misses. That's a tough shot. And at the end of the first half, it's Labette County 23, Fort Scott 20. Wow, what a fun game. Had a little bit of everything to offer. Did that first 16 minutes of play. Let's step aside for a 5-minute timeout and come back with the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the 4-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
Welcome in, Grizzly fans, to the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show, brought to you by Doctors Newland, Gilmore, and Ray. We are happy to be joined by head coach Brianna Vollmer of those Lady Grizzlies, who fell 50-35 earlier this evening. Coach, overall thoughts on tonight's performance?
I thought we had opportunity. I don't think the score reflects some things.
Agreed.
We've got to clean up some stuff, and we cut it to 11, and our goal was to cut it to single digits, and just the turnovers in big moments when we're trying to make a run, or just giving up a basket. I'm proud of my kids. I'll give them that. They played hard. They bought into a philosophy. It's been kind of a weird week for us, so. I'm proud of them first and foremost, and I'm proud of them to committing to a defense and, in a tough, hostile environment, considering, we came in here and had a big game last year and then turning around. And, I'm proud of them. We've just got to clean some stuff up. We're working hard and not reaping the benefits of that. And, Fort Scott's a great basketball team. We knew that coming in here. Gorman's probably one of the best, if not the best team in the SEK League right now. And so – I'm proud of my kids. We just got to clean some stuff up.
The box and one that you all ran on Gorman was highly effective. And then conversely, it appeared, at least anyways, that offensive strategy most of the time was to really try to pound that thing on the block. And Kaylin McCoy shined really bright tonight.
Yeah, she did. She's continuing to grow, and she's a student of the game. She's always watching film. She's always getting better. She's always asking questions. And she's just going to continue to get better. And she's been thrown to the wolves a little bit. We knew what her potential would be this year. So, we knew Fort Scott is missing that big, and we know we can take advantage of that and exploit it. And Kaylin did that, and I thought Mac Baker came in and played some huge minutes.
Yes.
And she hasn't done that. She's so athletic, and I think she's going to find herself, she plays so hard. She's going to find herself growing as a basketball player, but we ran a box and one. We knew we had to get the ball to Gorman's hands. We know she's so dangerous, and so we said anybody else. I was disappointed in the easy shots that they got, considering that Gorman, wasn't open. So she was very frustrated, and that was evident. Obviously, she still scored 10 points, and she's the main focus of the defense. So that just goes to show you what kind of player she is. So we're just continuing to get better, and I wouldn't say our mentality is to stay down. I would say our mentality is to be hungry to get better every night out, and that's going to pay off in the end. I can go down the list and talk about all the little things that we've gotten better at since December, and that list is going to continue to grow by the time March gets here.
Absolutely, and 2 points was all that separated your team and Fort Scott's team in the second half. Thought you all played really well, showed a lot of promise yet again tonight, a lot of growth as well, and now on Tuesday, it's kind of a break from conference, but of course not a break from play. At Iola is the scheduled game for Tuesday night.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to play somebody new and go to a new gym that we haven't seen. And I played at Iola when I was in high school, and we're glad to be back there. So I hope we can go get one. We're going to continue to play hard. Our JV team won tonight, and our C team just won in 2 quarters.
Awesome.
So we're showing growth. We're going to keep working hard, and I love it. I love basketball. We're here. We're in the thick of things. Best time of the year, so go Grizzlies.
Coach, thank you for coming up and joining us. Good luck on Tuesday night, and we'll talk to you then.
Awesome. Thanks. Be safe, guys.
Thanks, Coach. That's Coach Vollmer, the head coach of the Lady Grizzlies, that'll look to get back in the winning column on Tuesday night at Iola. That'll do it for the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show. We will be back in 30 seconds with the second half of the boys' game. Leading scorer for Labette County in the first half of play was Kane Nash with 9 points. Kagan Bates had 5 right behind him. Kanan Brown led the way for the Tigers with 6 points, and Kegler, who had 2 personal fouls and sat down for a lot of that half, had 4 points. Here's a quick foul, speaking of which, on the Tigers on the first possession of the game, and Nolan Nash is going to shoot 2 free throws, and that's the second personal foul on Kanan Brown.
Yeah, that was a quick one, so we'll take that. And I'd kind of forgotten about Kegler. He sat down, like you said, pretty early, or a couple fouls. So ought to be a good second half. This Grizzly team seems to feed on tight games and just play better as the expectation rises.
Nolan Nash splits those 2 free throws to give the Grizzlies a 4-point lead. Left to right, the Tigers are working it in white uniforms. Right to left, Labette County wearing red uniforms. Here's a touch foul on Kane Nash called in. And right after the whistle blew, Coach Argerbright looked at Kane, pointed to his temples, and just said, you got to kind of think, because no, that's not a foul, but tonight it is a foul.
Yeah, that's 3 on Kane, so I'm sure Coach will watch him.
Here's a nice turnaround contested shot by Marlowe that falls, and it is a 2-point game.
Yeah, this is how this is going to go. You know, it's going to be a good game. Labette County's going to have to hopefully put together some of those runs we're so known for, 6, 8-point runs.
Nolan finds a lane, rises above the rest, misses, and it's rebounded by Brown.
I want to see Nolan get frustrated. That was a nice shot there. Sometimes they don't roll in for you. You just have to keep trying.
Kegler with a one-arm bounce pass into Anderson. At the right elbow, defended by Nolan Nash, given no space. Throws off. 3-pointer is on its way and missed. Nice box by Rush. That's got to be Labette County ball, and it is.
Yeah, that's the right call. Fort Scott player went through Rush, so that had to be the one to knock it out.
Kagan Bates, point guard, had 5 points, all from the free throw line in the first half. Brings the ball up the floor. Tucker Rush finds himself beyond the arc with it, sets a ball screen for Kagan, bounce pass to Rush, mismatch, right-hand hook, you betcha.
Yeah, when he decided to go up, he just went bounce, bounce, up real quick, so the defender didn't have a chance to time it.
Kegler facilitates, drives, shoots, scores, plus the foul. A nice muscly move by Dirks Kegler.
Yeah, it's interesting again, though. This ref's calling those fouls from way out here, and there's a ref underneath. I used to officiate, and everyone kind of has their area that you're responsible for. I mean, a ref can call a foul anywhere, but it's kind of rude to your guys you're reffing with to call a foul out from under him.
7 points for Kegler, converts the 3-point play. 1-point Grizzly lead again. I have a feeling it won't be the last time I utter that sentence. 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. They're wanting to go to Rush. It was force-fed just a little. Turnover. Anderson bobbled it, gave it up. Ogren scores. Tigers have a 1-point advantage.
That's a good try by Bates. He kind of disrupted that. It was almost a travel, but Fort Scott did a nice job.
Kane Nash for 3. Off the mark, and a foul going the other direction on Barrett Heston.
Yeah, you can't, when you don't have position, if you go up like that, they'll call it. It's probably a foul anyway, but that's the right call.
.540 third quarter. No block or, oh wow. A really late blocking foul called on Barrett Heston. Back-to-back fouls on him. He's got 3 personals, and that is the 4th team foul on Labette County, still with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. That is significant.
Okay, so they called that on Barrett. I thought it was on a different player. It was so late.
Yeah, he slid in to try to take a charge as Kegler misses the first free throw. Fell down.
Yeah.
Whether it was a block or a charge, well, it was called a block, but he fell down. No whistle until the putback almost went up and in. Kegler bends at the knees, fires, and misses the second free throw, and that's not over the back.
Yeah.
But stepping out of bounds was Marlowe. All right, we both need to kind of brainwash the last 2.5 minutes and move forward, not whiny or complaining. Here we go. Bates right to left. Throws it ahead to Carson Lamb, who traveled, got a little ahead of himself, did his feet.
Yeah.
And a turnover, Labette County, who trails by a point, third quarter.
Just a little shuffle, you know. Sometimes you forget just the basics, and that happens.
Kegler up ahead to Marlowe. In traffic, a Euro, misses, put back, yes. Oh, from this angle, I couldn't tell, but he's having his way in the paint.
Yeah, he stayed with it, got a good tip, put back, so, okay, we got a game here.
29-26, Labette County led by 3 at half. Now they're down by 3 early third quarter. Nash spins off of his man, looks to drive, has a lane, near travel, and turns it over in the hands of Marlowe is the leather.
Well, Nolan's playing just a little hesitant for himself. This isn't normal for him to play, you know, thinking about it.
Kegler misses on a wide open 3. And then it's poked out by Marlowe on the board. Oh, they call a foul on Marlowe here. I thought he just signaled possession, but an offensive foul called on Drayden Marlowe, his second and the team's second.
Okay, Labette County could use a good offensive opportunity here to get some points on the board, kind of get something going.
Tucker Rush, top of the key, ball movement away from him. Colton Weil penetrates, spins in traffic, throws out to Nolan. 18 seconds on the shot clock. A well-read pass by Marlowe, and it's intercepted. Nolan laboring here tonight.
Yeah, just a little bit, and credit Fort Scott. You know, their defense is playing pretty quick too, really. They're everywhere as well.
Foul on Carson Lamb, riding the hip of Kanan Brown, and that's 2 free throws for Brown, as that's the 5th team foul on Labette County with over 4 minutes left in the third quarter. That is such a big deal, which I believe we were the benefit of that in the first half. So,
yeah.
As Zane Garton checks in for Nolan. Brown's first free throw is a swish.
Fort Scott kind of having their little run here right now. So on the home court, the Grizzlies really need to start defending well and making good offensive possessions count.
Brown made the second free throw, and I'm glad he did, because Ogren was wide open under the rim to get that rebound if it rimmed out. Labette County down 5, outscored by 8 points here in the second half. Just 2 points to show for Labette County. Lamb dials up a 3 and misses it strong. Rebound, Dirks Kegler.
Yeah, that one was just a little bit strong, and he's a good shooter too.
Three-pointer is good by Marlowe, and Labette County might need a timeout here. Down by 8, 7 points for Marlowe. Argabright's gonna let him play.
Yeah.
Rush sets a screen. Backdoor intercepted. Here come the Tigers, left to right. Anderson. They can get a double-digit lead here. Wow. 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Kegler drives, is fouled. The roof would have came off if that shot went in, but it did not. So 2 free throws for Kegler.
Yeah, this is how this crazy game goes. I mean, it could just be a tight game. The Grizzlies up 3 or 4, and then look at this now, down 8.
Second personal foul on Kagan Bates, so no foul trouble for him. Camden Good and Nolan Nash checking in after this shot by Kegler, which is good. Those two come in for Carson Lamb and Tucker Rush.
So the Grizzlies just need to kind of take a breath here. We don't have to score 6 or 8 or 10 points right away. We just need to chip away at it, one possession at a time.
Second free throw good as well by Kegler. So now Labette County looks up at that scoreboard and sees 36-26 not in their favor, being outscored by 13 points in the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. Ball goes out of bounds off of Fort Scott. Bates to inbound. Looks, throws, tipped, finds Camden Good. Here comes Colton Weil, settles into a floater that goes in. And here comes the timeout by Coach Argabright. We will step aside for 30 seconds. Labette County down by 8.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At LABETTE Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at LABETTE Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
We'd like to thank a few sponsors for allowing this broadcast to be possible. Idea Tech, Community National Bank, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, the Corner Store of Altamont, Commercial Bank, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Unified School District of USD 506, Clemens Insurance Agency, and Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes. (36-28), Labette County trails Fort Scott with 2:46 left in the third quarter, so still plenty of time remains.
This is going to start with some good defensive possession, or defensive stops, rather.
Dirks Kegler is a big part of what Fort Scott does. He has 5 third-quarter points and has initiated a lot of their offense. He was on the bench a lot of the first half with 2 personal fouls. Brown is going to score on a floater, and I don't think Coach Argabright's too happy with Kagan Bates' defense.
Yeah, he's upset with someone. It might be Kagan on that. Got beat by his man.
Labette County needs some life. Nash prances to the rim, collects the ball, and finishes it.
There you go. That's Nolan Nash right there. Now let's get a little bounce on our defense here.
Kegler. Oh, man, that looks like good defense to me. Bates doing his best to keep his body in front of Kegler. Kegler dribbled into Kagan, and then a whistle was called, and it'll be 2 more free throws for Kegler, who is 3 for 4 from the free throw line, and that's 3 personals on Kagan.
Yeah, you really got to keep yourself in check when you get an officiating crew that, as we've said, is doing a fine job. They're calling it both ways, but tighter games can frustrate players.
It seems like every time we come in this gym, there's stretches where I just get irritated with the officials. First free throw is good by Kegler. Second is on its way and good. So Fort Scott's lead is back to 10 with 1:50 left in the third.
That's how comebacks happen. You know, you score 2, maybe 4, then they score a couple. But just have to stay patient.
Oh, what a pass! Here's Bates and 1. Nolan Nash found him on the backside, and Bates through the body contact finished the shot.
So good at that. He's not the tallest player out there, and in there with the 6'3", 6'5" players, his timing and everything is just so effective.
That's 3 personals on Kegler. Bates misses the and 1 free throw, and he thought maybe we could have had a chance at that rebound, but nobody went for it, and he let his guys hear it, did Kagan.
Yes, he does.
90 seconds to play, third quarter. Here's a nice move, and the right-hand layup misses. Long rebound tip to Nash. Labette County long pass. Camden Good at the hole. Got it.
Very nice. Great pass, Camden. Way to catch it, put that in there. Those aren't always as easy as you think they are.
Labette County within 6. Bates picks up Kegler. Here's Brown, left wing. Kegler comes to get it. Now Weil switches on to Kegler. 1 minute to play, third quarter. Labette County down by 6. That's the Labette County traveling student section that you hear in the background. Brown with a lane will score, and it's back up to 8.
Yeah, kind of hoping to get another stop there. We were starting to build a little momentum, so just have to keep it going now on our side.
Colton Weil, right wing. Throws off. Here's Nash. 23 seconds. Bates, left wing. Wants to drive. Spins. Wants an up and under. Camden good on the skip pass. Weil, jump, stop, and flip. Nash into a 3. Misses. Rebounded by Anderson with 7 seconds left in the third period. 5 seconds. Here comes Anderson. Nobody getting back, and the shot is missed. Camden good with great emergency crisis defense at the end of the buzzer to contest that shot that was fairly open but forced the miss. Nice job, Camden.
Yes.
At the end of 3, it's Labette County 34, Fort Scott 42. Let's take a 1-minute timeout. This is Grizzly basketball.
Reaching your goals is closer than you think at LABETTE Community College. With 25 programs of study, 6 certificate options, and a campus that cares, your journey at LCC is sure to lead to success. Become a Cardinal. Visit labette.edu to learn more today.
Welcome back in, basketball fans. Jack Leake III alongside my father, Jack Leake Jr., and Jonathan Dusher on the camera work on KLKC Sports on YouTube. Fort Scott has the basketball. They lead Labette County by 8 points. Fourth quarter just began. 3-point shot missing, but Fort Scott collecting offensively. Brown throws back to Anderson, who looks to drive, jump stops, and pitches. Brown travels, finishes at the rim. Coach Feeback looks over to his left and says that was a walk and is smiling. Even he knows that was a travel.
Yeah, that was a big miss there, but we got to play on. There's nothing we can do.
Heston for 3, misses, hit the rim, thought about it, and didn't go in. Labette County now playing defense, down by 10.
Really got to focus now. They're up 10, fourth quarter.
Kegler with nearly a miraculous and 1, but he'll settle for yet another trip to the line.
That counter's going to have to just find it inside here. You know, it's when the other team's on a run, you get a little flat, you lost your energy, and they've got kind of a little bounce going on their side. So, man, you just have to turn the tide one play at a time, one possession at a time, and it ain't easy.
Kegler makes the first free throw. Second free throw misses. Ogren put back misses as well. Labette County has allowed Fort Scott to be in position on missed free throws all the time, but not always had the free throw been missed. Here's a missed jumper by Kane Nash, and Labette County now down 11, playing some defense here.
Yeah, just got to stay with it. We don't have to get too hurried up or rushed. Not that Kane did. He's such a good shooter.
.6:30 left in the game. Dirks Kegler throws to Brown. Brown, left wing, retreats a little, dribbles between his legs. His man is Tucker Rush. He'll step into a 3, miss it. Guess who? Rebound, Anderson, and then Fort Scott, I think, throws it away. They do. as Colton Weil and Aiden Ogren were in an all-out blitz for the ball, and Coach Argabright told Weil to kind of stay away, and it will be Labette County possession.
Yeah, at first Colton wasn't sure if that ball had been tipped or not, so Coach Argabright did a good job communicating to him.
Labette County driving is Bates. A jump ball is the whistle. Grizzlies will keep on the arrow. Down by 11 with now 6 minutes to play.
I've noticed in boys' games they call jump balls much quicker than in the girls' games. You know, a lot of times they'll let the girls kind of roll around until someone's finally locked up and pulling hair and rolling with it. No, the boys, that really was never super possessed, or tied up, rather.
Bates throws it into Heston, just beyond the red-colored three-point line. Nash looks to take over, left-hand layup, missed, but he's fouled. And that wouldn't be a bad thing either if Labette County can get back to the free throw line.
Yeah, and kind of draw a hot hand at the line. That was another nice drive there by Nolan. Staying with it. I know he's missed a few shots tonight, but he understands how the game's played. You just have to play through it.
He makes his first free throw. Nolan leans into a second, misses it. Rebounded by the Tigers. 10-point game, 5:50 left in the contest.
Yeah, down 10. We're to the place we at least need to start winning more possessions than we lose. Got a timeout here by Fort Scott, full timeout.
We will be back in 1 minute on KLKC.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the four-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience
Looking for a career that supports the U.S. national security mission? Join Day and Zimmerman here in Parsons, Kansas. Our salaried and hourly positions offer competitive compensation, starting at $22.90 for hourly roles, and all employees receive excellent benefits and room to grow. From production operators to engineering and beyond, you'll help supply America's defense and build a career you can be proud of. Apply today at careers.dayzim.com. You can make a difference at Day and Zimmerman.
Five minutes and 43 seconds remains in the varsity boys contest between Labette County and Fort Scott here in Fort Scott, with the Tigers leading 45-35. Labette County needing to generate life defensively, and Bates gets his hand on the ball and flicks it away. Labette County with a steal. Here comes Nolan in the paint. Kane Nash for three. Air ball deep, rebound Dirks Kegler.
Yeah, some good ball movement there, so I like all that. We're just going to have to hit a couple of those. We'll see how Fort Scott handles being up with the time running out. Maybe we can kind of get them off balance. Yeah.
And traveling in the corner is Marlowe. Back-to-back turnovers for Fort Scott.
We've seen this before. It's not always easy to continue playing when you're up 10, trying to hang on to a lead, so to speak.
Under 5 to play. Kane Nash penetrates. Boy, what a burst of speed. And he'll finish the right-hand lay-in.
Yeah, super quick. So what a great job there. We got the press set up and get a steal.
Kagan Bates' fourth personal foul, gambling on the steal as Dirks Kegler corralled the ball. Just the second as a team. He exchanges, Kagan Bates, a quick conversation with Coach Argabright, and Bates will stay in the game. Near travel by Kegler. He'll throw off a three-pointer, rims out. Rebound Nolan Nash.
That's better, getting the rebounds.
Boy, Nolan little out of control, lost the handle and dribbled out of bounds. And Fort Scott has it right back.
Yeah, just Nolan trying to make stuff happen. You know, he wants to compete and win too, and those things happen, so we got to buckle down here and defend.
4:17 left in the game. Anderson on the block with 4 guys around him, and here's another timeout by the Tigers. Let's take a 30-second timeout. This is Grizzly basketball.
Looking for a career that supports the U.S. national security mission? Join Day and Zimmerman here in Parsons, Kansas. Our salaried and hourly positions offer competitive compensation, starting at $22.90 for hourly roles, and all employees receive excellent benefits and room to grow. From production operators to engineering and beyond, you'll help supply America's defense and build a career you can be proud of. Apply today at careers.dayzim.com. You can make a difference at Day and Zimmerman.
Kegler to throw the ball in. He'll inbound a long pass to Anderson, who comes back down with the basketball. Defended tightly by Kane Nash. Here's a dribble handoff to Kegler, who looks to get downhill. Brown, big-time three. No, another rebound and a foul going the other way on the Tigers. That was a big sequence right there, so Labette County will have the ball back, only down by 8.
Yeah, it sure was. So an opportunity here for Labette County to get down here and just kind of tighten the noose a little more here, a score here, and we could have the momentum going into the last 3 minutes. That's what we want.
The Grizzlies led by 3 at halftime and never had firm control on the game, but they were the better team in that first half. Here's Nolan Nash, a little 15-foot jumper, falls, and Coach Argabright wants a 30-second timeout with 3:38 left in the game. His team draws back within 6, and there's life in the huddle.
Yeah, that's important, you know, get another hit like that, down 6 now only, and like you said, you can kind of see, you can watch a huddle and tell if a team's excited and patting each other or if they're kind of back and forth. You can just tell a lot about watching the huddles at timeout.
It's so funny just kind of how things work. Fort Scott had a 22-point third quarter, and they've scored just 3 points through 4.5 minutes in the fourth quarter. Whenever a team can generate a lead and they look like a pro team, and then once they get a 15-point lead, a 10-point lead, and the other team's hair starts to catch on fire and they got to get back in it like a wounded dog, that team that grew the lead with ease shuts down offensively.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It happened in the Kansas game the other night against TCU. It's just so weird how that happens to offenses. Here's Ogren, misses, gets his own rebound. Kind of an ugly sequence for Aiden Ogren, but it worked out for him.
Yeah, he had what looked like an easy put-in kind of, but yeah, just overshot it.
Oh, what a nice effort by Kane Nash to poke the ball out from Brown's grasp, but the ref says it was a foul on Kane, his 4th personal. It's 45-39, Fort Scott with 3:12 left.
These guys have been consistent officiating, I'll say that. They've called tight game all night long.
Tyler Anderson collects the inbounds pass. Hands to Kegler, who's working on Kane. 3 minutes to play. Kagan Bates is called to the subs table at the next dead ball. Kegler backing down Kane. Tuffy, no good. Labette County gets the rebound.
Here we go, another opportunity here. A little momentum in our corner.
Heston, right wing, thought about the three, pulls it down. Kane Nash will drive, shoot, and a travel called on Kane.
I guess he should have hopped twice and jumped once. That seems to be not a travel versus a spin.
You made Jonathan laugh there. 45-39, Kagan Bates in the game. 2:30 left in it. Fort Scott now playing prevent offense, basically. Here's Ogren, one step, three-pointer, wide open is good by Marlowe. His second of the second half. That is an owie. Tucker Rush wants a three and gets it to go.
I'm sorry. Big fella.
I had a really good line brewed up too, but I couldn't talk over your laughter and I missed the opportunity.
Well, let's listen to
it. It just can't. No, it won't be good now because I've teed it up. No.
King Tuck?
Oh, Tucker Rush with the flush.
I mean, he stepped up, caught the ball confidently. Big Dog shoots it from the corner.
Jonathan says Tucker Rush with the flush. I like it. As in case anyone on the radio is wondering, there was a timeout called by Labette County after that three-pointer was made by Tucker. I mean, if that shot doesn't go in and Fort Scott gets the rebound, you have under 2 minutes to go and you're trailing by 9.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a mountain. Now they're just facing a hill. Down by 6 with 2 minutes to play.
It's so amazing to me is Tucker. Dude caught the ball and shot. I mean, he not once, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have to be so wide open. He said, well, I guess I'll shoot.
He's like, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, bam.
Here comes Kegler left to right. They break the press. Labette County recovers nicely, playing tight defense. They have one foul to give before it's free throws for the Tigers. A floater, misses, need it, won't get it. Rebound Fort Scott, who kicks it out and can burn clock. Labette County has struggled on the glass against Fort Scott tonight. Timeout, Fort Scott. A minute 35 remains. Let's step aside for a quick 30 seconds.
In 2003, Tank Connection founders envisioned a Southeast Kansas-based company dedicated to innovating bolted storage tanks, offering superior products and services through a customer-focused team. 2 decades later, and products in 64 countries and on 6 continents, this vision endures. Tank Connection employee owners are dedicated to a future where their shared purpose brings empowered realities to as many lives as possible.
(48-42). Labette County trails Fort Scott with a minute 35 left. Nolan Nash nearly gets a steal on the inbounds play. Kegler wants to draw blood and misses. I thought it landed out of bounds. Guess not. Rebound Tigers again. Right-hand layup misses. Another offensive rebound. Second putback misses. Another rebound by Fort Scott and a foul. Labette County has struggled with rebounds tonight.
I think they had 5 shots there.
Yeah. Labette County is thinking that it was offensive basket interference, and the refs are talking about it, so that's at least interesting, but I'll be shocked if they change this.
Without video, whatever,
Right. So they will not, and it'll be 2 free throws for Kanan Brown as man, Labette County's really gotten beat on the glass. It was kind of quietly happening throughout the game, I think, and now it's really loudly taking place because we need these rebounds so desperately.
Yeah.
The first free throw is good by Brown. He'll get one more. He has 15 points and leads all scorers.
Yeah, this is the time of the game when the ball goes up. You should just be crashing the boards, everybody.
Sometimes if you crash, it just goes over your head, but these misses have just fallen right off the rim. Heston, we need it, and we won't get it. Oh, it looked like it was going to go. Kegler spins. Nolan and Kagan are all over him, and then a foul on Bates, and he's out of the game with a minute left. He played so hard. Kegler, good matchup for him. And here come 2 free throws for Dirks Kegler.
Teo Kagan leaves it out on the floor, doesn't he? Every ounce.
Kagan finishes with 7 points on the night, 1 made field goal, 5 free throws for the senior. Kegler's first free throw rims out. 1:03 to go. Labette County down by 8. Second free throw misses. Rebound Kane Nash. Quick score and you're in it. Nash turns and gives to Zane Garton, who makes a 3! And Labette County is within 5. And Coach Argabright calls a quick timeout. What a shot by Zane Garton.
Yeah. Couldn't have prayed any harder for that to go in. What a tremendous shot. He came in a few games back and canned 2 or 3 fours as well. He's a good player and a good shooter.
Has a nice high arching shot, and when Labette County needed it the most, they got it. Now down by 5 with 54.9 seconds remaining.
Boy, the pressure right now is really on Fort Scott. We'll see how they handle it. I know who's going to get the ball for Fort Scott, so we have to really deny him the ball if possible. I mean, I don't know how you guard him that tightly, but they're going to want him on the line. Kegler's who I'm talking about, of course.
Ball goes in to Kegler. Labette County just going to play square 'em up defense here, obviously as tight as possible, but they're not fouling right away here. Fort Scott.
Sorry, I know Argabright told him who to foul him, yeah.
So Ogren is going to shoot 2 free throws. Ogren has not shot any free throws tonight. The only 2 Tigers that have shot free throws are Kanan Brown and Dirks Kegler, and they've done pretty well. Ogren's first free throw is a pure swish. Labette County down 6, 37 seconds left. Zane Garton back in alongside Carson Lamb. Ogren's second free throw.
Need a rebound.
No good. Tipped out. Fort Scott's got it. Back breaker. There's been a few of those down the stretch, and if you're going to rebound a shot that hits the heel of the rim, you either shouldn't box out and just switch places with him, or box him out 7 feet. It's so easy to say just box out and rebound, but when a free throw goes negative 5 feet over your head,
right? Yeah.
If you, boxing out still is just a 50-50 shot. He splits the pair of free throws, does Marlowe, and Labette County's down 7 with the ball.
Got to score.
Nolan for 3. No. Rebound Brown, and then a subsequent foul on Nolan trying to collect his miss.
Yeah.
And it'll be 2 free throws for Brown at the other end.
Yeah,
brutal.
Yeah, did the right thing. Took the shot and then fouled instantly. I mean, that's all you can do. Hope they miss some free throws and make a couple of miracle threes, and that's the game plan.
Fort Scott only made 2 field goals in the fourth quarter. Granted, the game script didn't really call for them to shoot a ton, as they burned a lot of clock and shot a lot of free throws in the fourth quarter. Brown's first free throw is pure. And so is the second. Looking pretty bleak for Labette County right here. 54-45. Nolan shoots a three and misses it. Underneath is Carson Lamb. What a nice effort. He's fouled. And Labette County will inbound underneath their own basket here.
Yeah, I got to say Fort Scott's done a pretty good job of playing with the lead. You know, they've made shots when they had to.
Heston kind of double clutched a three with a hand in his face and missed it short with 10 seconds left. And the final score will be Fort Scott 54, Labette County 45. In a game where Labette County brought it, had the intensity and energy, and it just didn't flow their direction in the second half of play. Let's step aside for 2 minutes, and when we come back, we'll have a Bowen Pharmacy post-game show.
In 2003, Tank Connection founders envisioned a Southeast Kansas-based company dedicated to innovating voltage storage tanks, offering superior products and services through a customer-focused team. 2 decades later, and products in 64 countries and on 6 continents, this vision endures. Tank Connection employee owners are dedicated to a future where their shared purpose brings empowered realities to as many lives as possible.
Welcome in, Grizzly fans, to the Bowen Pharmacy post-game show of Labette County Grizzly basketball. The Grizzlies are swept tonight by the Tigers. The girls fell 50-35, and the boys fell 54-45. A game in which the Grizzlies led by 3 points in the boys' game at halftime, and in the second half they were outscored 22-34, and the Tigers just kind of got a grip on things and just didn't let go of it.
Yeah, something I think I overlooked, too, in that first half was Kegler was on the bench most of it.
Yes.
Not that we can't beat that team with him in, but he's obviously their leader, sets it up, gets, he's who they want to have the ball. So, credit him for being such a great player. And, yeah, we just got crushed on the rebounding and giving them second, third, fourth on one time, I think 5 opportunities. It's hard to beat a quality team if you can't, rebound a little bit better than that. So, hey, great effort, though. It's always fun to watch this group play. And, we'll see Fort Scott again here probably in February, I believe, back home.
Yes. Leading scorer for Labette County, Kane Nash with 11. Nolan Nash had 8. Tucker Rush and Kagan Bates each chipped in 7. Zane Garton and Barrett Heston each had 3. And rounding out the scoring was Camden Good, Colton Weil, and Carson Lamb with 2 apiece. For the Tigers, they had 3 main scorers. Kanan Brown had 18. Marlowe had 13, and Dirks Kegler had 12. Again, at halftime, it was Labette County 23-20, and in the second half was outscored 34-22 by the Tigers, giving us the final score: Labette County 45, Fort Scott 54. Labette County falls to 5-3 on the season and 2-2 in the SEK League, with wins over Parsons and Chanute, and losses to Independence and here tonight, Fort Scott. As we mentioned at the end of the girls' game, it'll be at Iola on Tuesday evening. We still look forward to hearing from Coach Argerbright here post of this one, but do want to remind those of you that are still with us of that. It'll be at Iola on this coming Tuesday. I believe that's the 13th, I believe is when that falls. Our pregame show will be live around 5:50 p.m. While we still await the arrival of head coach Bradley Argerbright, let's step aside for a 3-minute timeout. Hang with us on KLKC. Welcome in, Grizzly fans, to the Bowen Pharmacy post-game show of Labette County Grizzly basketball. 54-45 Tigers in front at the final horn here tonight. Happy to be joined by head coach Bradley Argerbright of those Grizzlies. Coach obviously thought they played hard, man, and quite a few whistles tonight, but thought you all played hard, and boy, had that halftime lead and then just couldn't quite get over that hump in the second half.
Yeah, I thought first half might have been our best half defensively we've had yet. Had great energy. They hit 2 threes there in that first half, that guys that don't hit a lot of threes for them. So, that's just the way the ball rolls sometimes, and that helped them, keep it close.
Mm-hmm.
We had Kegler in foul trouble in that first half, and we were trying to exploit that a little bit. But, I thought second half, with 4 minutes left, we had 5 fouls. And it's kind of an uphill battle there. We're just shooting 2 every time you foul after that. So, we've got to not foul, coming out of quarters. I thought that third quarter we just had a little bit of a lapse. We couldn't get a stop. We were fouling and putting them at the line to get easy points. And then on the other end, I didn't feel like we were moving well enough in that third quarter. But I thought the finish was really strong. I thought we played hard all night, so I can't fault our effort. We got to be smarter in some situations and make a couple more shots. But the other part of it was rebounding that last 3 minutes.
Yes.
We couldn't seem to get one. So we got to go watch the film, get some box outs. But, in that same breath, we're getting stops. We just got to finish the possession.
Good point.
We're right there. We just had a couple bad breaks tonight. And, I've told our guys and everyone I've talked to, every night is going to be a dogfight in this league. Every night. It doesn't matter if it's home, away, who it's against. We've played 3-4 league games now, and almost all but one has come down to the last possession.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just one of those things where we've got to find a way to keep finishing games.
Kane Nash has really seemed to grow in confidence as far as shooting the basketball, and I know I was absent on Tuesday to talk with you post-game whenever he really shot the ball well there in the second half, I believe it was. But just talk about it was obvious he fit right in with you and the guys from the start, but his blossoming offensively seems to be taking place.
Yeah, I told you that earlier in the year when he figures it out, he's going to be special to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And, he shot with extreme confidence, especially in that first half. Didn't have the second half he wanted. I don't know if it was legs or just couldn't get one to fall, but he's taking great shots. It's not like he's taking bad shots either. That's what's fun about watching Kane right now. He's finding his rhythm. He's finding his spot in the offense. And he's just going to get better every night. So, he's had a good couple stretch of games here now, and just got to keep getting better.
Yeah, in the everything other, you talked about this earlier, kind of got put in a tough spot in that third quarter where they shot a ton of free throws and made quite a few of them, which helped get them up. I had 22 points for them in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Everything other than that, it was a Grizzly advantage of 2 points. So it was just kind of that stretch in there that hurt us tonight in that third quarter, like you said. Just talk about what goes into, you had a few timeouts there in the fourth quarter. What's just that continuous conversation with them where kind of each time in that huddle, it's kind of that 4 to 6 point deficit where we still had a shot? What's just the message in those moments?
Yeah, it's be aggressive in those moments. And just be ready, and then also part of that is we're kind of going some offense, defense, and trying to be aggressive on defense and not get some guys with fouls on there, and then vice versa, getting some shooters on the court. So, a lot of it is, we went to a kind of a 1-3-1 and that slowed them down. Maybe we should have, probably done that a little bit earlier. But they've got great shooters, so you're not going to be able to zone them all night. But I thought for us to throw that at somebody and we haven't really practiced that a whole lot. I thought that was a really nice job tonight. So, just some tactics, and, the other part of having some timeouts in your pocket at the end is you can stop the clock on a made basket. So, and then set your press back up. So, that's all things that go into that and those timeouts and what we're thinking. So, it's just trying to chip away and just keep them going. If we can get a stop, then we got a great shot to cut it to within one possession. So, we just couldn't get that rebound or that stop tonight, but it wasn't a lack of effort.
Absolutely, Coach. And you talked about how demanding the league is to bring it every night. And while we get a break from the SEK technically on Tuesday, I'm sure it's not a break from quality competition.
Right.
At Iola, the Mustangs on Tuesday should be fun. I'm excited to have them on the schedule this year.
Yeah. They are close. They used to be in the league. So, it'll be another tough opponent for a team. And we've got to go on the road. Every time you go on the road, it's going to be a tough environment. This is one of the toughest ones to play in. It just always has been. And, you just got to be ready to go. So we're going to have a quality opponent on Tuesday. We've got to get back to the grind on Monday, correct our mistakes, and then find a way to get out and get a W.
Coach, thanks as always for joining us. 54-45 the final, and back in action on Tuesday at Iola. Appreciate you as always, Coach Argerbright.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Just really proud of this group tonight. I also want to give a shout out to Zane Garton. Had a tough day today, and really came out and competed hard tonight. So I was really proud of him and our guys rallying around Zane tonight. So a special young man, and he really performed well tonight. So I was proud of him, and I was proud of all of our guys. But we're going to get back at it, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Go Grizzlies.
Well said, Coach. Thanks. That's Coach Bradley Argerbright of those Grizzlies, 54-45, the final score. Again, as mentioned a couple times recently, it'll be back in action on Tuesday at Iola. Tank Connection pregame show will be live at 5:50 p.m. So if you absolutely cannot make it to Iola, you obviously know where to find us. For Jack Leake Jr. and Joel back at the station and Jonathan Dusher on the camera, I'm Jack Leake III saying good night, Grizzly Nation from Fort Scott. Safe travels if you're driving, and as always, God bless.